All right. What the hell is going on? It's the grand finals of PiGFest 5. $10,000 on the line, prize pool being fought for between Serral for Basilisk in the top right side of the map, going 15 Overlord into 16 Hatchery. He's playing against Team Liquid's Clem, the reigning world champion. It's world champion against former world champion, and what a match this is going to be. Serral, of course, has won the World Championship 2022 and in 2018. Clem, the reigning world champ, though, winning the World Championship just about 7 months ago. And he did it with an 8-win, 0-loss record against Serral in that tournament. He beat him 3-0 in the upper bracket and then 5-0 in the best of 9 grand finals. I mean, that was one of the most dominant performances against the greatest of all time that we've ever seen. But Serral was in the military. There was an asterisk next to it. Serral was doing his mandatory military service over there in Finland. He was doing a little bit of training in a little office that he hired across from the barracks, but he said it wasn't ideal, and whilst he felt like he was in pretty good form, it probably wasn't a super amazing form. For those watching live, you will be able to gamble in the chat. Our mods and lovely producer are going to get that going map by map in this finals if you want to bet the bacon. But keep in mind, this is a chance for Serral to get redemption. Now, don't get me wrong, they've played since then. Clem has won every series of competitive StarCraft he's played versus Clem head-to-head. There have been times on the ladder I've seen the match and Serral has stomped on Clem, but in the tournaments, it hasn't been that way. At Home Story Cup, Serral came out of the gates roaring. He looked so good a few months ago against Clem. I thought he was going to crush Clem, and Clem made some of the sickest comebacks I have ever seen. I mean, we were talking games where I was like, wow, this looks bad for Clem. And then Clem would multitask his way out of deep, deep holes, and Serral looked at a loss. You know, it was the fact that Serral came out looking so much better than the World Championship, got big leads, and Clem still was making sick comebacks. That's what was kind of crazy about Home Story Cup, because it felt like Serral overcame one of the hurdles of Clem and then ran into another hurdle, which is Clem's ability to make crazy comebacks with multitasking. Reaper going incredibly deep here. Queen gets lured to the low ground. Mistake for Serral. He should not have followed to the low ground there. The other Queen and Zerglings could defend. And he turns around for a single Zergling. Now, guys, remember, Clem's Reaper is one of the most obnoxious things in the world. First time I ever saw Serral look super tilted was one of his first-person view streams. I was watching him play head-to-head against Clem on Beckett Industries, one of the shortest rush distance maps we've had in a long time. And Serral, I've never seen him so upset. And he kind of went on a rant about how against anyone else, you can get away with a normal opening on that map. But if it's Clem, you have to open spawning pool first and build 4 Zerglings, or you're going to lose multiple units. And he was like, Clem's Reaper is different to other players' Reapers. It's more annoying. It's going to find your creep tumors. It's going to pick off Zerglings and drones. Like, if you spread that creep tumor, he will kill that and run away. You got to be careful. Serral does not have an Overlord here. He doesn't know that that Reaper's on the high ground. Hellions coming in. It's Hellion Banshee behind this. Third command center. Very standard opening for Clem, but at least Serral got his third hatchery done at a pretty good time. Reaper jumps up, drops a grenade, dances back to the low ground as the Queens move up. Now, it has been a big focus on Lings rather than Roaches at Home Story Cup when they played, as well as in most of their series on ladder, ever since the World Championship, where Serral was much more 15-15, Roach openings, big scary pushes. He was going for all those sorts of builds. He's moved back to a Ling Bane style, and I think one of the scary things with Ling Bane is once Clem's Metamax come out, he can get a lot of value. Ooh, the Ling spread's good. Only 2 drones, 3. Oh, good spore trick to save one. Oh, great trade here for Serral. Even pulls his Lings away, lets the Queen clean it up. Overlord's going to pull back. That was a great trade for Serral. Clem won't stop there. Are the spore crawlers down? Guys, where are the spores? Spores have not started. This is a pretty early Banshee for a 3cc. I guess the cloak isn't going to be done for a while, though, so he should be okay. Spore in the main. And he's got a pretty quick lair, so I guess lair will finish about the time cloak does. And if he instantly makes an overseer, he'll be good. Hellion pokes in, gets pushed back. Queen gets some damage on the Banshee. And he does go for 3 spore crawlers. Now, notice it is the early lair. Serral's been favoring early lair over early double upgrades, which means he'll have a fast Baneling speed if he makes a Baneling nest. I'm not sure if he's forgotten the Baneling nest or if he's going to rush Spire here and just go Omega Greed. Against Banshees, rushing Spire is viable. Against 2-1-1, it's way too dangerous, but against Hellion Banshee, I think you can do it, especially after getting the early wraparound. We don't see Mutalisks very much these days. A lot of people have said in the past that Mutalisks are a losing strategy versus Clem. Dude, there's nothing at home. There's nothing at home. Only 4 Marines on the map. The SCV is going to try and micro. That's too many Zerglings. Clem fighting. He should not be fighting. He should be running away. Oh, big mistake here for Clem. Tries to take the fight. I mean, bravery sometimes gets rewarded. In that case, bravery crossed over into stupidity for those SCVs. They took a fight they could not handle. Despite that, only loses 6. Most players would have lost 15 there. Serral, though, 6 SCVs for a handful of Zerglings. He's up 20 workers. It's been an excellent start, and he builds a Roach Warren. I'm shocked. I was not expecting a transition into Roaches. I guess he just wants to get a few Ravagers to bile down Siege Tanks, because there are really nasty tank positions where you can put them in a corner. So he's just going to make a handful of Ravagers, probably no Roach speed. Banshee's dancing around the back. Ooh, remember, Serral had a much smoother series and a bigger break. We gave a massive break between semis and finals there of over half an hour for Clem to kind of cool off and regenerate before this finals. But Serral had a few hours in the wings after a very chilled out finals where he dominated Shin, whereas Clem kind of had a nail biter, barely got through Hero. Like it was down to the wire there. So interesting to see how this goes. Baneley Nest Infestation Pit on the way. Serral's going to want to go for Lingbane, Hive, Vipers, all that sort of stuff. I do feel like when you've had a good start like this, there is actually a viable option for Serral to just mass Lingbane right now, not bother with the Roaches or even the Hive. Just go 5 base Lingbane, wait for Clem to move out, and then smash 20 Banelings and 60 Zerglings in from the right. Blow up the depot, split some Lingbane in the natural, some Lingbane in the third. I think you basically just wipe his economy off the face of the map. And Clem is always going to move out and push you. If there's one thing that you can always predict when you're playing Clem, is it's only a matter of time till he moves out. This man is allergic to turtling up. Some players out there, you know, very natural state for them to be turtling. Look at the reaction speed. How did he see that so quickly? Or maybe those Lings should have moved down here before going up. They got spotted as they were crossing down that ramp. Roach Ravager moves out. There is Roach speed. Serral spends a lot of gas on these Ravagers. They're going to be quite good at picking off Widow Mines, actually. It's not Siege Tank production, it's Widow Mine production. So you can double bile the mines, and that's going to give him a nice answer to those. I think Serral basically has decided, look, it takes a bit too long to get Hydras, and I want an answer to those Widow Mines as well as the tanks, and the Ravagers fulfill both options. 5th base on the right side. Hive is almost done. 1-1 is finished. 2-2 does need to start sooner rather than later. But you know what, guys? Armory finished a while ago. Where is the 2-2 for Clem? His 2-2's not even started. Whoa, Clem. Is he a bit shook, guys? He looked very tilted and shook at moments in his series versus Hero. And he's just forgotten about 2-2 entirely. Meanwhile, 2-2 started for Serral with very minimal delay. I expect Adrenal Glands and a Viper to come out very quickly, and that's exactly what he does. Viper, Adrenal Glands. His Baneling speed was a bit delayed in this game, but it doesn't matter. 28 Roaches. Wow, that's a lot more Roaches than I expected, though, for Serral, guys. This feels like too many. Since he hasn't made range upgrades or anything like that, this does feel like a few too many Roaches in this game. But I think this might be a reaction to him seeing a Widow Mine focus for Clem. Baneling's trying to morph there. The Marines on top. Serral a little slow on his army split. Loses his 5th base. Probably didn't need to lose that. Clem finding nice trades. Baneling's morphing on the left side. There is nothing to defend that. The Widow Mine will not track onto those Banelings with that placement. Marine's going to find another Overlord, continuing to be annoying down here. This is the sort of situation where Serral's had a really good start, but he's not doing anything with it, and this is really dangerous against Clem. Clem's building a 4th command center, 3 more barracks. I used to love Serral's patience and how he just slowed down and win games no matter what, but lately, I do think he sometimes gives Clem a bit more of a chance to get back in the game than I'd like to see. Ultra Cavern going down. Banelings rolling from that side, blow up the depots, but Clem's reaction speed is near instantaneous. Tanks will cover that base. 5th base just unable to get up right now. This is frustrating. Clem is doing things with this Marine drop while turtling at home that he should not be able to do. And he's now going to push. Big army coming on the front. Serral getting stuck in a bit of a defensive stance here. I'm not sure exactly how you stop this happening, but it does feel like he's let Clem get a bit more of a forward position than I would have liked. On the other hand, 4 base against 3 base for a long time. Clem's 4th has just finished. Viper's coming in. Here we go. Parasitic Bomb takes out one of those Banshees. The Queens are needed, but the Overseer goes down. Overseer going down is a real problem because now Parasitic Bomb wears off. New Overseer has to make. Feels like Serral's fighting in the position that Clem would love to engage into. Can he get rid of these Siege Tanks, though? If he could bile the tanks. Oh, the double tank biles! 2 tanks on the right go down. The tank on the left goes down. Serral's supply looks monstrous. Marine drop on the left. A lot of units are here for Serral. It feels like he's left a lot of army on the left side of the map. That medevac picks up. It's only 3 Marines. Serral should send these units to the right for sure. Or turn this army into a counterattack on that 3rd base. Clem right now not mining off his gases. He never put back on the gases at the 3rd. He is dead set on denying this 5th base. His 4th base is mining. Tank is still firing in the high ground. The 2-2 is only now finishing for Clem. That is a blunder. There's no other way around it. His 2-2 was so delayed this game. Vipers are on the front line. The tanks are really well positioned. Blinding Cloud plus Parasitic Bomb. Insta spread there on that for Mr. Clem. Biles do go down. Tank on the right goes down. So a couple of tanks do fall. One's got to wonder if you should just counter the rally point. It feels like Serral is fighting exactly where Clem wants to fight. And yes, he's winning the game. But one has to wonder if he could have made this a lot easier. He had an absolutely dominating early game. But he's fighting where Clem wants to fight. And I do not know if that's the right call. I'm just pondering here. I could be wrong. Banelings rolling into the third. That's what he's looking for. Ultra's there as well. The Banelings, will they find the fight? He jumps on the army at the same time. Ultra's on the front. Ultra's in the back. Who needs chitinous plating? Chitinous plating not even finished, but it doesn't matter because he catches Clem off guard on the other side. Kills 12 SCVs. The Ultra going ham on the rally point. The Marauders in the tank will finally take care of that one Ultra. But he pushes back the push on the right, keeps his 5th base alive, and does 13 workers of damage to Clem. Serral showing what he's made of in this match as Clem tries to re-rally to the middle. 3-3 started for Zerg, ahead of 3-3 for Terran. This is a real problem for Clem. He needs to go into libs, but he's kind of broken. He's not even maxed out right now. He's got 10 medevacs, so he definitely could afford it on the production side. Ooh, looks like some Lings ran in. Tank barely survives. Looks like one tank just died. I just saw a piece of a turret there. 8 siege tanks have died so far. Starport idling, double tank production, mass bio. You can survive with mass tank bio, but you need wall-offs. You need tank sieged on all these ledges and kind of behind things wherever possible. You could get a tank on this high ground, might even be nice as well. The Ultraling Bane army is huge for Serral. He's on 83 workers right now. It's been a stellar early game for the Finnish Zerg. And the French Terran, the incumbent world champion, is on the ropes. Can he defend against the onslaught? So many Banelings. Widowmines clear the front wave. The Marauders started stepping back. Oh, Clem! He clicked forward into the Banelings. And I think he was already done for at that point. But you could see the depot there raising a little bit slow. And that was a really nice game one for Serral. Surrounding the Hellions, having a good start, getting his hatchery up, just shutting everything down start to finish. A perfect early game for Serral. All right, guys. It is now Talisman. And we are seeing Serral heading for the gold base. That's right. He's gone for a 15 hatchery on the gold base. He's doing another extractor trick. It's a 15-15 build. So he's going to do... I believe a very fast queen opening, of course. With this build, you get a spawning pool started just after 1 minute, as opposed to a minute 14 with a normal 16 hatchery build. So that speeds up your queens by about 12 seconds here. This is a massive boost to your early queens and zerglings, which allows you to defend against early reapers very well. Problem, Clem's gone 2 racks reaper. Clem on the top right side is going to say, you know what, I am not going to let you get that gold base up for free. 2 racks reaper aggro. Can Serral defend this with queens and slow zerglings? And I think the answer is no. I think he's going to have to take a gas and potentially be forced into roaches as a response to this. I mean, he can defend initially with 4 queens, but if Clem goes for like 5 reapers, because he can always rotate, right? You can be defending. I don't think he'll be able to get up this path, but he can rotate around and go all the way around and run up into your main. And that's going to be a little hard to defend. But as long as Serral can quickly mine out these 2 patches, they have 84 minerals on them. He can open this path, and then he can connect his bases with creep, and he can defend this much easier and rotate queens and lings between the new bases. Talisman, an awesome map. Shout out to Patches and all the other map makers. I mean, there are so many good map makers out there making so many awesome maps, and I'm really looking forward to excitedly this new era of community-run StarCraft, where I think we get to be a bit more experimental, change these maps up a bit more frequently, and just show more cool maps. Of course, that worker-only path, remember, only workers can move in and out of that path. And Clem, not going to risk it. He just says, screw it, let's go for the front expand. Comes in, sees that there's no gold base. Surprised that he didn't go there straight away. I thought he would have guessed Serral would take this, but looks like he was not expecting this. He's going to go for those drones now, trying to deny them from opening those gold minerals. Queen from the high ground will push him away, and those drones going to micro back onto that. Second Reaper comes in. Nice rotate. Use the little ledgy ledge there to dance around. And the queen's already through. He's already opened that patch up. Nice move for Serral, dude. Perfect opening for this map. Remember, that has 4 gold mineral patches now as well. So Serral's going to have a nice little boost on his income against a Terran who's already a bit slow on his third. Link speed's on the way. Serral not wanting to open roaches, and I think I like that decision. If it was 3 racks Reaper, he'd probably have to. But look at this. Overlord seeing the command center. So he knows this is not going to be a crazy commitment. It's going to be 5 Reapers. 4th one's here, 5th one's building, and then a reactor and a tech lab, as well as a 3rd command center behind it. So 5 Reapers into just full macro, and then Marine play. 1 red hit point. Reaper backs away, but Serral's happy to take that punch on the chin. He's got 4 queens up. He's injected his main before walking this 4th queen down here. He's just got such a good defensive setup. There's 84 minerals on that gold patch. I think maybe they could make this base a bit harder by increasing the minerals on that base, but I think it's kind of a nice balance right now where players have to do specific build orders to try and secure it. Oh, that queen's getting bounced. She pulls back though. The grenades here, I mean, he's damaging the queens as Clem, but he's not really killing any, and that high ground ramp defense getting very dangerous for Clem. He can't keep poking this. Now, the queens, he's about to start getting an energy. So when you hit 50 energy, you can transfuse, right? So with these 4 queens, you can get it. Roach Warren is now up. Link speed got cancelled. Whoa, he cancelled link speed. Dude, 4-minute roach speed starting. Transfuse goes down. Beautiful transfuse timing. Uh-oh, queen's gonna fall. Another queen could go down. Dude, these reapers. Uh-oh, Clem's going ham right now. Clem is going ham. Gets himself a bunch of zerglings, a bunch of queens. These roaches could not get here quickly enough. Oh, golly. I think he should have maybe surrounded with the drones. Roaches come out, 2 reapers fall. He's gonna take care of all the reapers, but at what cost? Was that enough damage to be worth it for Clem? He ends up getting 1 drone, 4 lings, 1 queen. That's not a lot of damage. I mean, there was mining time. He knows what's happening. He needs to get a tech lab up on that factory ASAP, dude. He's trying to go straight for medevacs. I guess he can defend the ramp. But I think Serral might just go all in with this. I mean, if Serral wants, with 4 gases, if he can get a few Ravagers out, I feel like he can get rid of combat shields, probably. I mean, he can't get rid of stim, though. And I mean, historically, when he's done these pushes, if those Marines can stim down and get rid of the Ravagers... Oh, he's still building roaches. But he's going double Evo. Okay, Serral's playing weird. Serral's kind of halfway between 2 places. Is he committing to the Roach Ravager attack or not? Because if he's committing to the Roach Ravager attack, he needs to spend all of his gas on Ravagers. But it looks like he wants to go 1-1. 3rd command center floats down to the left side. Serral's about to scout it with this oversteer. Double drop of Marines coming forward. Ooh. Okay, he sees the 3rd. Serral right now, on his camera, he looks incredibly focused. Clem going for the counter push. There's a lot of roaches ready. He's going to counterattack with some. 1-1 starts behind this. Serral goes back to droning now. And he's going to split a roach into the gold base while attacking the front. Oh, wow. This game's about to get real weird, guys. Serral taking another half gold base forward. Very cool base layout. Remember, that's only 6 mineral patches, that one. The depot goes down. Oh, he's taking care of the Marines. 2 Marines go down. There's a roach in the 3rd as well. That kills 1 SCV. Forces the other SCVs off the line. Massive damage going down for Serral right now. Serral going tunneling claws and burrow. He's back to his old tricks, ladies and gentlemen. Serral, in 2022, beat Clem many times with tunneling claw roaches and nidus worms. He hasn't done it in a while. He said it's time to bring back the old playbook. 9 SCVs go down for those roaches. Great play. Damaging another one. Siege tank will push this roach away, but of course, he's watching. He does pull it back. If you can get rid of combat shields, that'd be a great snipe. Combat shields just 10 seconds away, but that's 10 seconds too long. He's gonna get it. No combat shields for Clem here. He stims forward, but he is reeling. Look at the body language. Clem leaning back in his chair. We saw the same thing when his series against Hero started to go wrong for him. We really see a big body language change for Clem when he's playing, when he gets frustrated. He leans back in his chair. It's amazing that he still plays as well as he does, but you can see that there was a real point where Hero, everything was going right for him in that series, and Clem started to lean back and kind of go for that proper, like, WoW nerd from the South Park episode gaming posture. Roaches running forward for that attack on the gold base once again. Clem does find an overlord, though. That main base a little exposed. Roach Ravager Queen moving up in there to defend. 1-1 upgrades going to be coming in soon. There is a tank there, which is really good for defending normal roaches, but oh my god, creepy boys. Does he notice? And if he's too busy watching the front, there's no way he's going to notice. He sees the roaches now, though, but they're already past his tank. He should realize what's happening. These roaches getting ready to unburrow on the tank. Look at that. He's going to unburrow in the main, and when the Marines stim to deal with it, he's going to unburrow and kill the tank. Dude, genius move here. He's in the natural as well. Clem! The roaches unburrow, and he insta-taps. Serral frustrating him there. We can watch the last few seconds of that game. I think he unburrowed over here first, guys. Check this out. That rewound a bit further than we wanted, but look at this. Roaches run in the front as well. He never replaced the wall off there. And unburrows in 2 bases. Is about to unburrow in the tank as well. Clem says, no way. I got to get out of here. And that is a quick 2-0 lead for Serral. All right, guys. Clem a little tilted here at the start of this game. He said he had to pause. He said, Blizzard hates me. It always changes my hotkeys and mixes my different hotkey profiles together. This is really annoying. And I said, yeah, man, it happens whenever you change region. If you, in the F10 button menu, use that globe button when you're in BattleNet, it seems like a quicker way of changing region. It's really bad. It's bad because it will mess your hotkey profiles up. Same thing if you ever play campaign. Make sure you swap off your multiplayer hotkey before you do that. We will have another prediction going up in the chat for those watching live as well. But man, he's got to put the stops on this Serral train. I really, truly feel in a standard situation where it's just a multitasking war, Clem is heavily favored. But Serral mixing up his builds, and I love the way he utilized the gold base. Defended it with a 15-15, mined the gold minerals out really quickly, defended so well. And his roaches popped at the perfect time. Remember, if those roaches are 5 seconds later, think about those Reapers just circle through that main, pick off so many more drones, and it's like potentially game over just from that Reaper harass. But Serral handled it just right. He managed everything so well. And Serral is so good at preparing for his opponents. And this is what I always want to give him credit for. People have asked me many times, what makes Serral so good? Why is he the GOAT? Well, the thing is, guys, in 2018, he wasn't a very dynamic player. He figured out how to play defensive macro better than anyone else. He figured out how to scout better than anyone else. And more importantly than anything, his late game was just better. He knew how to win in the late game, so he was always able to make comebacks from behind. To give himself, though, 7 years of dominating the international scene, I mean, it has taken him learning many different openings, many different styles, mixing and timing attacks, and I would say more than anything, adding a little bit of Rogue to his playstyle. Rogue was always famous for studying his opponent's build orders and countering them, studying their habits and countering them. And that's what Serral has definitely added to his play over the years, so that he is a very hard-to-predict player. Oh, losing a drone. Mistake for Serral. He also can't get a third base up because that SCV was blocking, and now the Reaper's outside his base, so great start here for Clem. Serral looks very stern on that camera. Should sneak a drone out maybe now while the Reaper's in his main. Yeah, he sends a drone out. Queen ready to intercept. Ooh, you don't want him to see the drone, though. If he sees the drone, he'll stay here and block, whereas otherwise the drone could go to the other side, but Serral, he doesn't want to expand to the other side. Now, you might be wondering, why not? Why doesn't he just go up here? Isn't this base easier to defend? The reasoning is very simple, guys, because, yeah, you can take that as a safe third, but remember, the third is not what you need to defend. In this matchup, at high level, it's all about defending the fourth base first, Terran. The fourth base is the point of contention. So if you build your third in the back in the safe position, and then you build your fourth out here, you're not going to have enough creep spread to defend. The Reaper continuing to be annoying. 2 Zerglings, 1 drone. Queens will push him back. But it's all about getting this third up early so you can spread creep in front of it, get creep out on all these ledges, and then take a safer fourth base in the back. And this is why all of the top Zergs, especially the European players, love taking that front third base. They want to kind of put the risky base up front, secure that early with Queens and Zerglings, and take the fourth in the back. It's a very solid way of playing StarCraft. 2-1-1 for Clem, guys. This is his favorite build against Serral. He's got so much success, and it is what led him to that 5-0 Grand Finals victory in EWC. Especially the 15-15 builds that Serral's been famously using versus him a lot. Very weak against the 2-1-1 because it's not that they're very weak directly, it's that they usually rely on having a lot of different timing attacks and roach pushes they can do, and none of those pushes work against a build that goes 3 command center and then straight into 2 barracks pumping out Marines and making early stim. Any attack that hits at the 5-minute mark runs into 16 stim Marines, and that just kind of beats anything. There is no way to kill him in these sorts of games. Lair starts very early. Incredibly early. Did he cancel Ling Speed again? No, he's made Ling Speed, but he's making a very fast Lair and a Roach Warren. Serral's back on his Roach game against Clem. Giving up on the early just Ling Bane mass style. Interesting to see. Armory. Whoa, 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 whoa. Held that timing. Held that timing. Clem says you're going to play Ling Bane now. And you know what Rex Ling Bane? Held that bio timing. He's going to do a Hellbat medevac push. Notice he's only building medevacs one at a time. Hellbat Stim Marine medevac. He's going to hit with these next 2 Hellions. He needs to start 1 more Hellion. And there we go. And they're going to rally forward. He's going to morph Hellbats and go. Lings are going to be worthless versus this. Queen's going to struggle. Roaches will be great. But if there's only 5 Roaches, he could still do some good damage. But the Roaches and Queens are not what you want to see. And I think Clem is convinced he's playing against a Ling Bane play. This is going to be kind of interesting. Can he find damage? It's a narrow timing. Serral sees what he's up against. Immediately runs the drones away. Starts building more Roaches. This is a big timing attack. Clem mixing in some real aggro play to get under Serral's skin. Serral does not have a lot of Roaches ready. Those drones need to run. Drones a bit too close to the front. The Lings. Ooh, second stim comes out of the Marines. Remember, the Marines don't have combat shields. And I think Clem realizes if he chases too deep on creep, he's going to bleed out all of his units. So he saves the Hellbat, saves the Marines, pulls back. Doesn't lose much, but he doesn't kill much either. Was it worth investing in an armory and these Hellbats just to force a bit of lost mining time and... what? A Roach? An Overlord? I'm going to try and get another Overlord on the left. I'm going to get it, but remember, these are non-combat shield Marines that are already very wounded. Lings are going to defend the main. Roaches and Queens on the low ground. I'd love to see Queens here hitting the medevacs. You don't want to let him just freely fry around your base like this. But of course, the moment a Queen Spine lands on the medevac, he does reposition. Hellions on the right side, scout Serral's 4th base. Serral's only on 55 drones. And Clem is transitioning into 55 worker, 3cc double upgrades. I think Serral has to go for a Ravager Zergling all-in. I think he's too far behind on the upgrades, but if he can surprise him with just Roach Ravager Zergling, which is exactly what he's doing, oh my gosh, this is going to catch him off guard. There are tanks building, but they're not out yet. The Marines and the Hellions poking in. He's seeing no drones on the 4th. Does Clem realize what's happening? Guys, he's going to see now. He's going to come back and see. Mass Roach Ravager running in right now. The first tank's out. It's on the high ground. There's no Overseer. Wait, there is an Overseer. If that Overseer can spot this high ground, he's fine. But the tank, right now, there's no vision. The Overseer's not in position. He's got to bring that Overseer forward and protect it from the Marines. If that can spot the high ground, he will be able to bile down the siege tank. But the Marines coming forward, the SCVs as well. The Roach Ravager trying to kite back against these Marines. Marines are just doing so well with the combat shields and the stim, though. Even though this attack has caught Clem off guard, he's got to wait for those Marines to overstim themselves a little bit more. Serral having a micro. Clem just started stepping towards those Ravagers. If we can get all the Ravagers, it'll be a massive win. He's going to get the Ravagers. 2 of them do go down. The bile lands, but only on a single Marine. The Marines stim yet again, and then they pick up at the last second a 2-hit point medevac flying away. The tank on the high ground anchoring his position, and Serral realizes he's not going to get more damage. He goes back to droning. Serral with a nasty surprise attack, but Clem, I'm telling you, this 2-1-1 3cc build is ridiculous. He is so good at surviving anything with this build. It's so hard to stop. The massive next wave. Triple bio lands. The siege tank goes down. The Marine concave does get pushed back. But I think Serral can't keep committing. That tank on the high ground, that's a no-go zone. That white line, he cannot step over. This line thou shalt not cross. If you do, thou shalt throw away many Zerg armies. 1-1's about to finish, guys. You might think denying the 3rd is a game-winning situation. It is not. He needs a bit more damage. Overseer comes in from behind. No biles on the high ground. The Roach Ravager Ling, is he going too deep? I think Serral's overcommitted. And that fight, even though he gets a medevac, I think was way too many units. That tail end of the fight, he pushes too hard. Remember, he does not have upgrades. He's trying to run away, but Clem right now, he has drug. He has a needle in his arm and a gun in his hand. And when you got a needle in an arm and a gun in your hand, and the Zerg army just doesn't have any upgrades, you've got 1-1. It is very scary for him. But actually, nice little turnaround there. Serral gets a few Marine snipes. It's 8 racks, by the way, guys. It is 8 racks, and Clem's still got 62 workers against 57 drones. 1-1 upgrade advantage with 2-2 started before 1-1 started. Clem has held the scary moment of this game, and he's now large, he's in charge, and he's going to take control. How the heck do you defend a Hellbat timing and a Marine timing with Roaches and still have no avenue to counterattack, even when cutting at 55 and getting in there? I think Serral just needed to play more perfect because Clem is getting momentum. He got momentum with the Reaper at the start. Now the drop on the left side. Serral was too busy chasing on the right, and amazing damage. Clem, he's got vehicle weapons on the way. The Queen's in the main trying to defend, but Serral is reeling right now. And Clem, it looks like he's going to stabilize in this match. I love that he went back to 3cc 2-1-1. I still feel a little bit bad. Did an interview for about an hour and a half, 2 hours with Serral after he won Katowice last year, and he revealed that he doesn't know why more Terrans don't play 3cc 2-1-1 because it's safe against everything and counters every Zerg build. He pretty much immediately said, I probably shouldn't have said that publicly. And I feel like Clem heard those words and really took it to heart because he has been causing so many problems to Serral in the last 6 months with this build. I feel a little bad that I kind of coaxed Serral into saying that publicly. I don't ever want a player to reveal their secrets or tell the other team's faction how to play, but I think it would have only been a matter of time until Clem figured it out anyway. He's just so good with Marines and medevacs. He's so good with economy. 3 command centers, 2 barracks. He does so well with this build. As the tanks come forward, that's going to put a timer on a Serral who's trying to get 74 drone hive tech up, but he just doesn't have the material to fight these Marines, let alone the siege tanks anchoring the position. The medevac's there as well. A Ling run by does try to come in on that bottom side. You can see he's going to catch the rally, but Clem already insta-reacts, dodges the biles. Serral almost eats his own corrosive biles there. Slow banelings waddling into these Marines. Bile actually lands on a few of them, but the tank shots. Ow, 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 ow. Whenever you walk into these tank shots, so many Marines. He gets a triple bile off to Serral, but he loses every Ravager to kill one siege tank. Clem fights back and puts the brakes on the Serral train. All right, guys. Serral still up 2-1, but a nice little bit of comeback momentum there for Clem. Manages to make an amazing hold. That sort of attack is so shocking. And it's a really good choice for Whispers of Gold as well. A small map where the Roaches, the Ravagers can kind of spring across that map with the Zerglings so quickly. I really think that's a hard attack to stop, but Clem did very well. I think his combat shields finished in the nick of time and really just scrambled back, tank on the high ground. Very well defended by the young Clem. Serral's got to be a little frustrated by it. In between games, Clem did go back and look in the replay after finding out we were having a little 3-minute ad break between the games. So no doubt understands exactly what Serral was going for. Now, Serral has been very Roach focused. Very Roach focused. I do wonder if he'll risk playing Ling Bane. I think historically the rule is that with Ling Bane, without ranged units, the Marines can just shoot down Zerglings and Banelings, pick up at the last second. Unload again, shoot down your Ling Bane. And it feels like there's like a Clem tax if you play Ling Bane versus him until your Hydras get out, where he just basically hits you with multi-prong drops and gets way too much damage and usually stacks up about 3,000 or 4,000 resources of damage without really losing much at all himself. That's a bit too much. SCVs and mules dropping in the main base. Command center goes down on location. SCV does scout. Clem not taking any risks. Drone already snuck out to the left side. On this map, you can take a fourth in a straight line up the top if you want. You don't need to expand to this base here. This base does have tanks can get set up across there. But they're pretty far away from the hatchery itself. Serral, he's got Ling Speed started and fully pulling off gas. The Ling Speed before third hatchery, incredibly safe play. And notice the Lings are only going to come forward at the last second. And he just doesn't take a risk. A lot of players would cancel that spore, start trying to mine. Serral waits for the queen to pop out and only then goes back to mining. Very safe. Third hatchery goes up north. Clem sees there's no third on that side. Still wants to make sure no creep tumor goes down as... Ooh, Serral skips the inject in the main. Oh, that was a mistake. Oh, it was a mistake. Oh my gosh, look at his face, guys. When I miss an inject, I'm like, silly Billy. Serral's internal like self-talk when he misses an inject like that and accidentally pulls the queen of the natural, he's like, you frigging moron! Monkey! Like, I just imagine Serral's like, you know those like, I don't know, middle-aged monks back in the day go around like hitting themselves on the back. They're like, my sins! It's like Serral with like every tiny mistake he makes. And to be fair, that one is pretty uncharacteristic for him. I would have liked to see him just put the creep tumor down earlier and then go back and inject. I think it wouldn't have delayed the inject by too much and would have at least given him the advantage of earlier creep spread. Clem trying to find that creep tumor when it's mid-spread. He's so annoying to play against. Oh, don't lose this one. He's going to go for the mineral line. Ling Speed's done. Is he going to get out? Serral blocks him. Nice blocking. Good Ling micro. He starts jumping and the Lings tear that Reaper down. Nuh-uh, bro. No way. 2 Hellions coming across, another 2 at home. It is Hellion Banshee, no more 2-on-1. I think Serral will be happy about that, to be fair. Flagellation, yes, that's exactly the word I was looking for. Apparently that's the word in French as well. Well, hopefully Clem doesn't flagellate himself too much over those first 2 games. He just got a very nice win in the last one. And I'd love to see where this goes on Star Child. Notice the bases are quite spread out. 4th base, 5th base. Like, once you go to 5 bases, you're a bit spread as the Terran. 6th base, incredibly spread. I think the problem for Zerg is that there's just not that many bases overall, though. Whereas, like, sometimes if a map has, like, 8-9 bases per player, I think it can allow Zerg to, you know, cover the map everywhere. This map's going to be a little more hard to defend your 5th base, and even your 4th to a certain extent. And you'd think, well, that's good for Zerg. They have more mobility. Problem is Serral going to be able to defend the 7 or 8 bases that really allows you to run away in those situations? Well, probably not. He gets 4 bases, 5, 6 bases. 7th base of his will even be hard to defend. So, don't get me wrong, Serral will be able to maintain an economy momentum lead. Not necessarily for all that long, going up to 4 gases pretty quickly. I wouldn't mind Hydras being mixed in. This time it is going to be, once again, very quick lair to get Overseer for the Banshees, and then a Baneling Nest behind it. He's been delaying his Baneling Nest a good bit, which I think it just shows good confidence. And it is an 8-queen build order. 3 queens in the bottom. 4th hatchery starts at about 520. Banshee comes forward. Overseer's nearby. So he goes for the queens, but he's not going to get it. I like how Serral always waits to the last second to transfuse. Oh, the Banshees. Oh, I think Serral could have started a step there. But the Overseer is slower than the Banshees. So good reaction by Clem. He got out of range. Normally you want to send an Overseer in the main as well. He's only tried to do 1. And, oh, energy runs out anyway for Clem, so he has to back off. 18 Zerglings on this map. No Queens on this left side, which means the Zerglings have to defend on their own. Not ideal against Clem's Hellion Micro. And Spire! Oh my, I didn't even realize, guys. Sorry, Lingbane Muta is going to be the play for Serral. He's already up 20 workers. How in the hell? Wow, Serral is so good against Banshee openings. This is crazy. 5 barracks pumping, tanks, medevacs, all going very well. Third command center is over there also. Double upgrades going up. +1 armor, a bit delayed. Meanwhile, where's the double Evo chamber, you might be wondering? The answer is Serral knows. He wants to dump all of his gas into Mutalisks. Upgrades are for losers. People who make Flappy Boys do not have time to make an early 1-1 upgrade. He'll start the Evo, the double Evo, in a moment. And he'll start the upgrades after his first 9 or 10 Mutalisks. It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. You're always going to be behind about a full pair of double upgrades when you play Mutaling Bane, but it's much harder for Terran to push into you without risking a lot. The Banshees survive. A laser taught us many years ago, if you keep these Banshees alive, they are the best defensive unit in the game. Zerg's not going to have a lot of mobile air units 9 times out of 10, though. This is the rare case where there will be some. Oh, look at that. Hellbat Morph to snipe the 5th base. Serral's just going to have to give that up. Clem just does not let Serral get 5th bases, does he, man? Mutaling Bane coming out. If he can ambush this, though. Dude, Clem does not realize. Oh, Link Bane coming forward. Mutas as well. The tank's in an amazing spot. He focuses down 3 Mutalisks instantly. My god, Clem's focus fire is brutal. And he splits his drop instantaneously as well. What in the heck? Clem's control is freakish, guys. He even drops there, gets 2 drones. Like, he knows this is dead, but he gets 2 drones there. And he's just going to fly around, be annoying. Meanwhile, Hellion's diving the north. Oh, Clem finding not only a cancel on the 5th base, he also gets in with the Hellions and kills 10 more drones on top of the 2 that the Marines killed. Medevacs does go down to those Mutalisks. But look at the units lost tab, guys. The hatchery did not get cancelled. That was a kill on the 5th base up here. And he lost 3 Mutalisks. Units lost tabs in favor of Clem, despite getting ambushed by surprise Mutalisks. The jump scare happens. And much like those porch pranks where someone's pretending to be like a Halloween, scarecrow or something on their porch, someone comes up to get candy. I mean, basically, Serral jumped up, said peekaboo, and Clem, he went and just punched him in the face. Like, it was a situation where Serral thought he was doing a funny surprise. Clem answered it. Oh, with viciousness. Mutas are now cornered. Clem is so good at cornering these Mutas. Gets another Mutalisk there. 80 workers back up now for Serral. Does intercept the Banshees, which, I mean, it seems wild to send your Banshees across the map right now. But Clem realizes, look, if you corner your Mutas on my side of the map, I'll punish you. I'll send drops or Banshees across, and the moment your Mutas evacuate, I'll go back and do that. Now, Burrow is on the way. Keep in mind, when you play this style, you have to upgrade the Mutas to make them still effective, so +2 starting. But you're also going to be very delayed on Hive. You're stuck on lair tech for a long time, and here comes the giant push. It is 5 barracks, 2 factories. 4th command center is building behind it. But as Clem says, my army's big. Let's go. Let's break these rocks. Let's parade into this expansion. And Serral, mass Muta Zergling counterattack. Let's go. That's a lot of Lings. That's a lot of Mutas. These Widow Mines pop out. He insta-burrows it because his name is Clem and he has literally unlimited APM. But the Ling Muta is going to break into production. Excellent choice. But look at the way Clem insta-drops on the high ground. I think he's just going to say, look, I might not be able to get the production, but if I can clear out your natural and your 3rd, that's going to be good enough for Serral. He's clicking on the 4th command center. Ling's going after these SCVs. He's trying to flood up the ramp. If he attacks the Marines, he can overwhelm. I think lowering that depot may have been a huge mistake for Clem. Clem dives on the other side right now. He kills 10 drones, but the Banelings are here. The Banelings rolling forward. Oh, the Widow Mine will go down there. Serral trying to defend. He needs to get those Banelings up. The Mutas are on top of the production. This is a huge problem for Clem. This game is going to hell in a handbasket right now, and Clem is forced to retreat. He's sending his army home. He leaves a double drop of Marines on the front because this man does not know the meaning of stop multitasking, calm down, stop taking risks. Clem says, risks? What risks? I can multitask better than them all. Serral says, your multitasking will be your doom. You have committed too deep into my territory. You got a base, but I've taken everything. 42 workers, a bunch of add-ons, production. These Mutalisks are going to easily fly out of here. He's still got position on the front, though. I'm amazed that Clem is maintaining position on the front, stopping Serral from spreading creep and reclaiming this base in the midst of this. 1 Zergling there. There's a Zergling burrowed on the natural. Oh, that's so annoying. The burrowed Zergling on the natural is actually really annoying him because he'd love to land that to scan, but there's nowhere to land it. And Clem, losing all those workers, is down in the dumps. Fresh base mining up here. This base is still mining pretty well. Serral does need to double expand, I would say, just to maintain things. His +2 carapace has just started. Remember, it is 2-2 against 1-1. Wait! What? Guys, what? Did he lose the engineering bay, or did he forget to click +2 attack? Oh, I didn't even realize the +2 didn't finish. That is tragic. That is tragic for Clem. Uh-oh. Ambush. Oh, lots of Mutalisks going down. Now, Clem should be dead, right? He's on 30 SCVs against 70. That's not the way this game works, guys. He's got a big army. He's got a better upgraded army. The Mutalisk count's low. And this base is everything. If Serral loses that base, he's screwed. Serral going to ambush, though. He's going to go for a divey dive. There are burrowed banelings there, but he didn't get a chance to set them off. He sets them off on the tank. They do not land on the Marines. Oh, that's unfortunate for Serral. He doesn't find the fight that he wants. He only got rid of one of the tanks. There are 17 Mutalisks on this map. But remember, 1-1 against 1-2. I mean, luckily, getting rid of the +2 upgrade is actually insane. I do think Ling counters are what he should keep doing. But Serral, he's focusing more on the front right now. And he's got to get rid of this push. There is mostly Lingbane Muta. A Marine Widowmine. But that one siege tank adds some really nice range to his army. And look at that, Marine stimming in. That single tank, if you can get it from the high ground, it would be good. Lings are going to go forward. The Mutalisks take out a Widowmine in the tank before they can do much. And then he pulls back. Once the tank's gone, Clem no longer has the range advantage, or not much of a range advantage. But triple drop on the bottom. Oh, those Marines are going to cause issues. Serral, he's going to try and break this army. He's got the supply advantage, but remember, a lot of it's in workers. He still needs efficient fights. The Widowmines! Big Widowmine just took out 10 Banelings. South side, Lingbane trying to deal with Marines, but Clem's watching it because he's multitasking. Like I said, this man does not have an APM cap. There is no attention limit when you're a young French man with unlimited APM, but he gets jumped on. Serral tanks that Widowmine to the Mutalisk's face, shuts down the northern army, and Clem trying to evacuate from the south before those Mutas collapse on his position. Serral needs to retake that southern base to maintain the income advantage. Clem does have a 4th orbital up. He's dropping mules. He's trying to fight back, but I think Serral just has too many pieces. Too much Zerg on the dance floor. The Widowmine's burrowing, the Marines trying to pull back and defend. It is still 1-2 upgrades against 2-1. And as +2 Carapace finishes, Serral officially takes the upgrade lead 13 minutes into this game. What a barn burner of a game. Serral, I love the fact that he committed so much to the counterattack. That was a dark style move. Historically, Serral gets in a lot of trouble versus Clem because he likes to fight head on and beat players head to head. He is a goat, and if you've ever seen one of those goats, they like to lock horns with the other goats and prove who's the strongest man. And that's a really good way to assert dominance when you're a goat fighting over mating rights. But when you're playing StarCraft as a Zerg against Clem, it's way better to counterattack and backstab him and not let him choose where the fights happen. And that's what Serral did this game. He sent all of his Mutas and Lings across the map, left some Banes to defend, and used the mobility that is so inherently good with this unit comp. The Banelings rolling in, the Marines trying to spread. Clem down in upgrades, trying to make it happen, but there's just too many Banelings. The roly-poly Zerg balls of acid get on top of him. And once again, Clem's chair goes flying back away from the desk as he realizes Serral is running away with this series. All right. What the heck, ladies and gentlemen? Clem getting counterattacked by the Mutiling Bane. It's a really smart style. I think you've got to be wary of that when you play against Mutiling Bane. That's what I lose to every time I play. And the thing is, it was still relatively competitive after that. I do wonder. Serral looks like he's going to go for a 16 hatchery here. I think we'll see one more drone. Oh, no, he's going to do... Yeah, 16 drone, 16 hatch. I wonder if Clem didn't raise the depot, guys. I think if he kept that depot up, let the SCVs on the natural die, you lose 20 SCVs. I don't think the command center is going to die. I think you get another round of Marines out on the high ground, and then you can probably defend. But letting the Lings flood in, oh, that was rough, man. That was very, very rough. This is Errorholm, by the way, guys. Not in the ladder map pool. Pretty good map. Is it just me, or does Errorholm look like an upgraded ancient cistern? I don't know. This map kind of reminds me just a little bit of New Repugnancy, even though it's pretty sure it's quite different to that map. But yeah, definitely, it's got a few similarities with different maps over the years. It's not the longest rush distance, keep in mind. It's just this low ground area you can push through very early. And you've got watchtowers over these corner areas. Could see some nasty pushes around these watchtowers. The site blockers plus the tower, really nice place for Terran to fight. If a Zerg takes the corner, a Serral, you kind of have to try and get the creep way out here and fight in this big area. Don't let them assert a position right there. SCV comes forward. Clem does not want to let him take a third for free. First to 5 wins seals it, guys. Serral is 2 wins away. 2 wins away. I mean, honestly, it's been a bit quicker than I expected. I thought we'd see a few more macro games, but I think Serral's very wise to keep it in this sort of realm. Don't let Clem just get a macro game for free. Yes, Ghosts are 3 supply. I think Zerg late game can do better than it used to, but I'm actually not sure. I haven't really seen... I was asking Serral, I was like, you know, Broodlord's been kind of bad for a while, but Ghost is now heavily nerfed. Like, what does late game look like? I asked him a few months ago. He said, well, I haven't played any late game. I don't think much has changed. I don't think the players have really figured out who's favored in late game. Serral, I think, is just saying, let's play it safe and just kill him early. Try to, anyway. Make some big plays early. Look for momentum. Serral with 2 drones here. 1 goes back, 1 continues forward. Says, all right, you delayed my 3rd a little bit, but, you know, all it does is you go for your extra Overlord, your Queen, and then you go for the 3rd hatchery, whereas normally the hatchery goes down before the Queen and the Overlord. It's not a huge change to the build order. Clem's going to go Banshee once again. I do think Banshees are putting Serral. I think Serral's, like, shutdowns of them, not losing any drones, his clinical build order, like, his fast layers. He's been getting in a good spot against this. Overlords on this pillar. The pillar on this map is kind of interesting. It doesn't fully see the front of the base, but it sees the main base ramp. So, I mean, it gives you all the information you need. Link speed is ready. Reaper's going to dance around. 3rd hatchery down south. Armory. Whoa. Hellbat Banshee. Ladies and gentlemen. Not even Banshee. Old school. What? Wow. Okay. Is he doing... It's not even a 420 light him up build. It's going to hit... No, it is. It's 420 light him up. It's the old 420 light him up build, guys. He's going to put 4 Marines in a medevac, boosted across the map. And then he's going to have eight Hellbats. Six will be there at the start, and then there'll be 2 more that rally in behind it. Usually used to go a Liberator behind this. 2 more Hellions are building. Does he build the Lib? Yeah, 2 Hellions into a Lib. This is a classic build. 2017 called it once its builds back, Clem. Dude, you weren't even like 13 years old when this build was popular. What the heck? How does he remember this one? It's the most old school Hellbat timing there is. There's only 5 queens. No 6th and 7th queen building. He jumps on top and morphs on his face. Serral quickly runs away, gets the queens out of the surround. Can he get away from that? That 1 queen deep in the red, deep in the red. She goes down. Ling's useless at fighting this, guys. They are useless at fighting against the Hellbats. He wants to surround the Marines, but the Hellbats are guarding. Great tight formation for Clem. The Marines add some ranged firepower. The queens are getting right on top there. Those queens got to be careful. That one goes down. Serral's micro needs to be more perfect than this. Clem, though, is applying pressure so hard and fast. He's forcing mistakes. 2 rallying Hellions get surrounded by the Zerglings. Lings and Queens trying to fight. The medevac doing some nasty micro there. The Queens, they damage the medevac, but they can't kill it. These drones, they'd love to get in there and help, but they cannot. The Queens kill the medevac, but dude, Serral not good enough on the micro. Clem took a big risk with this build order, guys. This build, famously, if you ask any pro gamer, you go to Hero Marine stream earlier today, you say, what do you think of this build, Hero Marine? He'd say, that doesn't work, it's garbage, it'll never work versus top-level players. And honestly, I think 9 times out of 10, Serral stops it, but you're playing a best-of-9 finals. Suddenly, the nerves are there, the excitement, the endurance becomes an issue, and you bring out a shocking build order, and you catch him off guard, you shove into the natural, and you do massive amounts of damage. Clem, finally about to lose these Hellbats, but they have already done the work. Where's the Liberator? Oh, Liberator's in the main! Liberator gets 2 drones. This Reddit point queen running in circles. Liberator sieges on the ramp. It's going to get that queen as well. The queen goes down. Spore starts shooting the Lib. Lib tries to move south. My god, ring around the rosy. Pocket full of Hellbat. What is this? Some sort of sick child's game where if you lose, you get burnt to a crisp? This is not a nice situation, and Serral is mere seconds away from tapping out. This is ridiculous. Well, it feels like Clem just got Serral's attention with that one. Serral put him in the naughty corner with the Mutiling Bane, and then Clem strikes right back. Right back. Really vicious, very fast, and hard-hitting attack. That attack, if you give the Zerg time to spread those queens out, coming from multiple sides, they can ruin you. But I think Clem realized from watching the replays, Serral was skipping queen production to focus on early drone production. He wasn't cutting drones to pump queens, and especially with the 175 mineral queen, it is actually, that build became a lot stronger in this patch because, remember, the queen used to be 150 minerals. Now, while hatcheries are slightly cheaper, oh my gosh, I think we just hit PiGFest 6 in May, by the way, guys. Decimor just dropped $560 to the tournament live. That completely fills the goal, which means we are doing PiGFest 6 in May. Thank you so much for the love. I will do a proper shout out after this game, so people watching on YouTube later aren't too annoyed. But thank you so much, dude. Guys, just slap your support in chat. Let Decimor know how thankful you are to Decimal, but everyone else as well. There's been so many people who put in $1, $5, $10 to make this tournament happen. And now the fact that we've got $5,000 funded for PiGFest 6 means we will host that in May. So thank you so much for the love. You guys are absolute mad dogs, and we really appreciate you guys keeping StarCraft 2 going in 2025 with or without big tournament organizers and big tournament announcements, which, who knows, may or may not come. I have no idea at this point. So back on point, guys, to explain that, the queens are 175 minerals. Hatcheries are 25 minerals cheaper, but that doesn't pay off until a bit later. If you're going 7 queens and 3 hatcheries, you're only saving 50 minerals on the 2 hatcheries, whereas, of course, 7 queens is 175 minerals. You're still 125 minerals in the negative. If you want your economy to be just as hard hitting and pushing up the drone count as before, those queens are just getting delayed a few seconds here, a few seconds there, which means transfuses are later, which means all these extra things are later as well. So I think that build actually does, on this patch, make a bit more sense, especially if you notice, hey, I looked at Serral's build, rather than squeezing in a queen on 40 supply like he used to, or he's doing it at 42. Or maybe he's still doing it on 40 supply, but the queen's 10 seconds later because of the extra expense, right? And he's building those drones earlier. We did see Serral was paused on 5 queens when the attack hit. He wasn't building the 6th and 7th queen until, like, the attack drove into his base. Serral was not able to defend. Often, Ling's counterattacking is the best play if you know that build is coming. You want to click your Lings into their natural as they get halfway across the map or as they arrive at your base. Can often kind of ruin the Terran player because your Lings just aren't much use at home. But you also just want to spread your queens out and buy more time. Just kind of pull back, spread the queens, pull back. And over time, your queens can kite that push, but didn't get the chance to. And now Clem feels confident going back to a 3 command center build. Now we're about to find out, is it a starport, guys? Or is he going for second barracks again? Oh, Reaper SCV denying the 3rd. Oh, this is bad for Serral, guys. That SCV is really annoying him. Serral drops a Roachhorn in the second gas. He's cheesing? He's cheesing. Serral's 3rds got blocked, and he's just decided to cheese this game. He builds a Roachhorn, a second gas, but he's also building 9 drones. I still think he's going to cheese. But with no Ling speed, it feels dicey. I think he's just going to run 10 Roaches across the map. It is 2-1-1. Clem's gone back to what's worked for him in the past. He's going to do it again. Oh, the second gas was the one at the 3rd. But still, I mean, this is still a massive Roach commitment. He's still going to go for 8 to 10 Roaches here. He's got 200 gas banked up. Oh! Wait, did he sneak them out this door? Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Serral is going to sneak the Roaches along. He's going to bring 4 drones, open a door, and he's literally going to arrive unannounced in his base. Oh my god! Serral, with the 300 IQ mind game, he is bringing 4 drones to sapper his way into the opponent's base. In ancient sieges, guys, it was often hard to take down the enemy walls, but you know what you could do? You could dig underneath them and make them collapse by taking out the foundations. And that is exactly what Serral is doing right here. Do you guys know the backstory? Anyone watch Peaky Blinders? The backstory of the main character is he was a sapper in World War I. He was digging under the enemy trenches. This is a whole bunch of Cillian Murphys right here. They are diving to the base. He's about to go full Scarecrow from Batman Begins in here. This is about to get insane because he has no idea this is coming. He's got vision outside the base. Where the hell are these Roaches about to come from? Clem, look at his face, guys. No, oh my gosh. Insta-pull. Insta-pulls the SCVs, pull the Marines back, and with this many Marines, he might be able to defend. This is a genius idea. If it was a Banshee build, I think Clem's dead. But with the Marine build, I think he can hold. The Roaches waddle over. It's a genius idea for Serral, but 2-1-1 defends everything. Clem, disrespecting it, does not care. Says, I'll trade 13 SCVs. Does it even matter? You just committed so much to mine my base open. Honestly, it was good damage. I don't know if it's enough. 8 Roaches for 13 SCVs might sound good, but you have to respect the triple orbital mule, and you have to respect how much Serral's upgrades are delayed by this. 20 worker count looks good, but keep in mind, in these sort of games, what you have to factor in is the tech. So right now, the worker count's good, but the next 2 minutes is going to be Serral just defending Clem's tech, and that is going to be hard, especially if, oh, damn, 5 drones for a 2 Hellion run by. Didn't see that one coming. Oof, nice little move there. So the big thing here, guys, is you've got to deal with 2 medevacs of Stim Marines, and combat shields is on the way. And that means you need to make a lot of Roaches and Queens. Right now, Serral kind of skimping on those units. He sees it coming, though. Very important that the Zergling sees this. Gives him warning, tells him, build a few more units right now. We've got double medevac Marine coming. He's pulled his Overlords back to safety. Notice there's no Overlords in the open except this one, which should be pulling out of there. He's on 57 drones, 7 more building. Can Serral stabilize? Was 13 SCVs enough? We're going to find out shortly. Marines coming forward, focusing down the roaches and the Ravagers. Nice Ravager cocoons. Remember, Ravager cocoons have 5 armor, guys. 5 armor against a 6 damage Marine. Marines only do 1 damage a shot. But when you kill them, there is a 3/4 refund on the Ravager upgrade cost. So it's not too bad losing those Ravager cocoons. Does allow, you know, you end up losing basically 2 roaches there. 1 or 2. Actually, they don't show up in that unit's loss tab because they're cocoons. So it gets kind of confused there. Doesn't actually show it. Units lost tab slightly in favor of Clem. 1/1 upgrades and Infestation Pit on the way for Serral. This is the game where I think Serral needs to go Infestors. And then go probably Lurker Viper would be a very good style. I think it's good on this map because these bases you can get in, you can also drop the main base on the south or Nidus Worm really, really well. And you can also run around this left into the natural ramp sometimes. But I think it's just, yeah, Hydroden, here we go. He's going to do it. I think in general as well, it's just a really nice way to get to that later stage without just always playing the Ling Bane style. However, Marines will be a problem. And if he doesn't go for the Infestors, it can be hard to catch it. On the other hand, if you invest in 2 Infestors, that is 300 gas, slows down the Hive, slows down the Vipers, the Lurkers, all those other things. So I think Serral's just going to keep it non-Infestor. Roaches, Ravagers, Queens to defend. Then he's going to add Lurkers and Vipers. Probably tries to hit a sharp Lurker timing, but it all depends on where the game's at. Clem has a gold base fully mining now. He's going to take the gas there as well. Serral's Roaches, he leaves 2 straight out there. And his 4th hatchery is incredibly late. Serral, he's got to take these gases. You can see he's going for them now. Doesn't even take the gases until the drones are right there. Most players would have queued up the 25 mineral extractors, but Serral wanted to literally use that 50 minerals to build other things. And then as the drones arrived, that he clicked on the gases, then he told them to build the extractors. That is a level of detail that if you've got an AI playing StarCraft, you'd program it to do. But for a human, it seems like it's almost beyond the limits of micromanagement to the point where it's worth getting value. These guys are the gods of the game for a reason. Greatest of all time, Serral up against the reigning world champ. Double bio lands on the medevac. Clem's going to have to pull back. Lurker Den's on the way. Do we see a Viper? Do we see 2-2? Serral is gas starved, guys. He has to make some hard decisions right now. And I do feel like Clem has a pretty scary army. Lots of Marines and tanks. But once Lurkers come out, especially if you can get rid of those tanks, it could be really hard for Clem to deal with. I'd like to see Serral skirmish with this army and make him siege up his tanks. This choke up here, this corridor, really hard for Zerg to engage, especially with this big grass here. It's a site blocker. No units on the other side counterattacking the gold base just yet, and Clem's coming across with a drop as well, right towards the natural. Biles trying to zone. Stim will wear off. 1 or 2 Marines go down to Bile. Lurker's finally here. Oh, he just jumps on it. Oh, Clem, the mad dog, runs into the Lurkers, but there's 3 Lurkers there. Double drop in the natural. Double drop in the natural. Serral needs to F2A move this and then pull these units back to defend, I think. You see, he does that. Biles! Oh, Biles from the cliff! Uh-oh. Clem dives in, though. These Lurkers not fully covering the base. The double drop doing good distraction. Queen's doing damage there. A lot of units pulled down. Is it too many, though? Ravagers do get up north. Tanks are in range of the hatchery. Just barely. 1 tank sieging it. No Viper on this map, remember. 4 Lurkers. Lurker range is only at 8. About to be 10. Double Bile! Clem exposes his tanks way too clumped up. And now the Marines idling. Clem! He's not watching! Clem! An uncharacteristic mistake. His mouth agape. That was not a PogChamp. That was a god... Oh, no champ. That was... He almost made the PogChamp face, but it was in pure shock and horror right there. That... I mean, wow. Maru did it earlier in this tournament. I did not expect Clem to do it. Maru made one of the most uncharacteristic mistakes I've ever seen, where he clicked his entire army on a hatchery and walked through the Zerg army of Dark and essentially threw a game away. Clem making a similar mistake here, move commanding his Marines through the Lurkers. He's now going to doom drop. He's gone full YOLO mode. He's realized this is not good, man. This is not good. I just threw away all tempo I had in this game, but it's not over. He's got a 4th base behind it. Yes, the gold will mine out very quickly, but if he can keep building command centers and get into ghosts, he can do pretty well. There's no Vipers out just yet. Serral's 2-2 was massively delayed because Lurkers are expensive, and his 4th was just very late. Serral trying to play Nidus Worm 70 drone. 70 drones is not where Serral would like to play StarCraft. It's where he feels forced to, because if he drones up anymore, he doesn't feel he has enough army to do any kill moves. And he desperately wants to do kill moves against Clem. He wants to have enough army to really catch him off. Lurkers getting some big hits. Clem has got to respect the Lurkers, man. Let's get the Overseer snipe, though. Serral's got a big army at home. The Widowmine will see him move out, though. Damaging the lurker. Lings will clean it up. Double drop in the south. I love that Clem runs towards the big scary Zerg army. If there's a difference between your average Terran player and Clem, is that Clem's the man who runs toward a charging bull, and then at the last second dances around it. He has that faith in his micro. He does truly believe running at big problems is a really good philosophy for making yourself a much scarier Terran player. Says if you play scared as Terran, you're always going to lose. Many years ago, he said that was the central philosophy of his Terran versus Zerg. You have to be willing to attack when other players would just defend, because otherwise you're too predictable, and you're too easy to play against. I still think it only works because he's faster than literally everybody else in the world, but for his skill set, it is the right philosophy. Medevacs, thinking about going back in the main base. Still no Vipers in this game. Serral's got bank now, though. I'd love to see one or two. Lurker harass. Really nice lurker harass. Ghost's going to come down and do a snipey snipe, though. Very well played. 2 lurkers go down. No real Nidus Worm attempts just yet. There's a lot of ground army down here to defend this drop. Ooh, 1 medevac goes down. Oh, and Serral with a big misstep. Gets caught out of position. Oh, and Clem's going to dive. You know he can't resist. Drones in the open, and he's going to jump on top of those. Oh, 8 drones and a hatchery snipe. Serral losing his 7th and 8th gases. He's going to take gases here and retake the hatchery. But he hasn't actually got rid of the army. I don't think a single lurk is enough to really defend that. Or Serral heavily on Roach right now. Clem's building 3 command centers in a fusion core. Feels like Serral's a little desperate. It feels like, yes, you've got bank, but unless you can surprise your opponent, I don't see much happening. And there's bio waiting in the main that have been stopping Nidus Worms or drops there. He's going to deny the 5th of Terran. I mean, only 4 base for Clem. It's not that good, but as long as Clem slows things down enough, the mass orbital late game against a guy who's on a mostly Roach maxed army. Roach armies are the worst sort of Zerg armies in the late game. Very bad armies. Lurker going to deal with those drops. Biles, looks like they landed on 1 ghost. North side, he's going to give up the hatchery again. Is Serral. 2-2 against 2-2 right now. Carapace and +1 melee on the way. +3 Carapace, that is, for the Zerg. Roach Ravager will jump on top of this army. Nice Biles. Lurkers over here. I mean, he could shove on this base potentially. No lurkers in the main. Nidus Worm tries to go up on the high ground. Clem not watching that right now. The Roach Ravager. Ooh! Wait, he got drilling claws. These Widow Mines not revealing themselves after they shoot. That's really annoying. Couple lurkers getting sniped. Oh, good cleanups here. Remember, Ghost of 3 supply. It's hard at max. The Ghost clean up the Nidus Worm in the main. Serral doing little bits of denial and mineral lines. I don't know if this is enough. He's got to find a way to trade out these roaches and swap into a better army. He's making Hydras right now. At the same time, I do think there's a fusion core. Ranged libs are able to enter the field before Hydras do. It's going to be good for them. Roach Ravager going for a dive. Oh, but Clem stutter steps forward. Yes, the planetary goes down. So much Roach Ravager goes down. Honestly, I'd still take that trade as Serral because you do want to get rid of those bad roaches. But the ghosts, the snipes. Oh, no. You don't want to lose these lurkers, mate. Lurkers running on the south side. They're going to do some damage. But, dude, Serral's army just got obliterated. Ghosts, bio, and 100% commitment from Clem. I mean, this man doesn't have any chill. Lings, Hydras, and Lurkers are trying to rebuild, but those ghosts, dude. And I think, honestly, with how heavy he is on ghosts, Marines, Marauders, Serral probably needs to go Infestors, but that's the last thing on your mind. Why would you even think about it? Right now, you've just got to stop the push. But long term, those ghosts are low on energy. Ooh, okay. Gets a good little wrap around with the Lings. Gets a few of these Lurkers. Not many snipes there. Does get one of the Lurkers before it burrows. Clem's still standing and fighting. Like I said, running at the bull that's charging at you full speed. He's got a handful of Marines, Marauders, and Ghosts with no energy. He sees a massive pack of Lurkers, and he just stands off with it and says, I'm going to stay here until you force me to move away. I will hold the middle of this map. Ghosts up against the Ling Hydra. Hydra's going to get some good surface area, but there's no upgrades. Not enough upgrades and not enough units in general without Banelings there to connect. Oh, man. Oh, well, that's that. Oh, my God. Lurkers try to run and they get wrecked by the tanks. And there's not even a 5th base mining right now. There doesn't need to be for Clem. He is obliterating Serral. Serral's playing on a smaller work account than he would have liked to for a long time. He does have a gold base here, but he's lost his 5th. So he's back to 5 base against 4 base. I mean, Serral's doing enough to keep Clem's economy low that if it wasn't for that whole army dying here, I imagine this game would still be very competitive. With that army going down, I don't really see a path back into this game. I don't think the Hydras are really going to cut it either. I don't really know what a better unit was. Maybe go Lingbane Infested to jump on the Ghost, but that army, I mean, off of a 70 drone count all game, he didn't really have the bank to afford it. I think for Serral, the answer is just he needed to get more done earlier in the game with the style he was playing, and he wasn't able to. Clem outplayed him. Clem found a way to really stop the Roach Hydra Lurker finding value. Now, this is what we call a Honmono, guys. Honmono, famous in the online tournament scene, a semi-pro Terran player who always sends his bio backstabs without medevacs with them because he's a psychopath. Doesn't believe in protecting his drops, just sends them on the ground. He says, you're not a drop, you guys can run to the enemy base. Clem's got the money. Serral does not. Lurkers are there as well. Ghost bio. Going to be trying to engage this. Those lurkers need to get out. The longer you stay, the more chance there is for snipes to land. Another snipe. Yeah, you gotta run. You gotta run. Serral cannot hold this position. These lurkers are getting hammered. A couple ghosts go down, but so many lurkers. Oh, no. And whilst he's denying mining on the gold, which is annoying, it's always at what cost, right? Without Banelings or Infestors, I don't think he can beat a ball of Marauder Ghost medevac right now. Like literally just a clump of Terran units, unless Serral had a big army supply advantage, which he's just never going to have in these games. Lings do get a decent wraparound, but remember, they're +1 melee Zerglings. They don't do much damage, even though they've got good armor upgrades with the +3. Lurker's still denying. Dude, Serral, his harassment's so good. He takes out a Ghost there, but the Marauder Concussive making it very hard to pull away. The Hydra's trying to hang on. They do have 2-3 upgrades, which you'd think is decent, but you've got to have the numbers advantage. And now as the Libs come in, the Hydras are hitting their expiry date. They're not going to be very useful against that. Gets himself a Marine and a Ghost at least. Serral hanging in here like a champ, but down 12,000 resources in the units lost. 3-3's done for Terran. Vehicle plating +1 as well. Libs are going to join the charge. He's also got double Lib on the north, so it's time for Serral to not just deal with the Ghosts, the Bio, and Libs joining in, but he's also got Lib harassment, which is just going to be a nightmare. Lings are going to try to come up here. Tanks will deal with it. Going to deny the top from landing for a moment, but that's about all. Double Lib. Nice to meet you. Advanced Ballistics just starting. Spore Crawler is going to go down. Probably needs another one of those. Clem securing his 6th base. The double Lib. Oof, very powerful. Oh, he frenzies in there. The Hydra's thrust into the Lib zone and say, get wrecked, nerd. Serral gonna have the party with these definitely not Ewoks in the north side of this map to celebrate that, because I think that's the only celebration really that's happened in this game. He is getting overrun and overwhelmed, and as annoying as he's being, he doesn't have an economic base big enough, the tech, the upgrades, the army big enough to really fight back against the Terran who's got so many orbitals, so many command centers, so many bases, and look at this. Going for the hatchery, he's shoving the left side at the same time. The Lurker Hydra Ling goes down here as well, guys. Oh, I wasn't expecting Serral to jump on that army. Crazy move. Gets behind the Lib zones, but the Lurkers are getting gunned down by the Bio. He doesn't have enough firepower. Serral's been on the back foot for too long in this game. Clem looks ever so relieved. Dude, shout out to Serral. That Roach slide, if it was a Banshee build, when he mined out the back door, the Sapper attack, I don't care if Clem wins this series. Serral is even more the GOAT, in my opinion, for bringing that strategy out. That was so cool. All right, guys. We've got Serral in the top right side of the map. And in the bottom left, we've got Clem. It's 3-3. It is tied up. It's nail-bitingly close. I can't wait to see what goes on. I mean, Serral brought out a 300 IQ build order there. Like I said, Serral has become tricky. The longer his career goes, he mixes some real nasty surprises in. And it definitely threw the game off balance a little bit. I will stand by the fact that I think if he went Infestors, he would have had a better transition into Lurker Viper. This is like my own little pet peeve I talk about. Not pet peeve, but like pet little hobby project. Where because you need something to, I feel like, scare the Terran. If you catch him with Fungal, get on him with Roach Ravager, those Marines will get eviscerated. I think 3 Infestors into Hive would be good, but I think for Serral, it's just so hard to transition when they go 2-1-1 because the counter pressure hits you so early. It's so, and you're trying to defend a 2-1-1, the double medevacs with the Stim Marines, trying to do all that damage, and you're like, okay, how do I defend this and secure a 4th? And Serral's 4th was just so late that he didn't have the gas count for the style he wanted to play. So whether he went for Infestors or not's besides the point, really, because the main thing is he couldn't get a 4th up early, couldn't get the gases on it, and then he ended up losing it a bit later on as well, even after he did get it up. But even when he first established it, that tank push was very scary. He did some very clever Ravager moves, though, to buy all the tanks. And Clem move commanded his Marines into Serral, which I think was a big mistake, right? Gave Serral an opportunity to maybe get back in the game, but just a bit too heavy on Roach Ravager, and Clem just kept him on his side of the map. SCV is going to come over again. I don't personally think I would mind as a Zerg taking this as my 3rd. Like, as long as you get a 3rd up, which I guess with the SCV there, if you send a drone out, it'll just follow. You could send a drone out early, And then if the SCV follows, you can send a drone to the other base or whatever, and then send Lings to kind of secure one. Here comes the Reaper. Let's see if he can get attacks. Feel like that early drone kill on Whispers of Gold had big flow-on effects. Ooh, gets the extractor down. The Reaper, if it was slightly closer to the gas, would have blocked the extractor. All gas buildings take a little bit more space than the building itself, guys, so if you stand a unit next to it, people will not be able to start building that. Reaper dancing. Queen being well protected. The drone can try to attack the SCV if the Reaper's not nearby, but the Reaper nearby, it's tough. Yeah, he gets the third hatchery down. Well escorted. Very safe play. And the Ling's going to try and defend those workers, but you can see the way Clem, he goes for the drones, forces the Lings to come to defend, and then he instantly changes targets to the Lings. But Serral, not losing any units just yet. Creep Tumor comes up. Clem sees it, but he knows it's too deep. He can't get that. It's a very conservative Creep Tumor. You'll notice it connects the bases on Creep, and it allows you to keep it safe at the same time. So getting the best of both worlds. Speaking of which, Clem's gone away from the Banshee build. From the 2-1-1. Feels like he's very much alternating it. You know, it's kind of funny, right? Because I talked about this the other day a bit. Sometimes players think they're playing very good at randomizing their builds, but humans have a very bad idea of what random is. And I think if you plugged a lot of players into a machine, all their games, you'd see that, wait a second, he always alternates. So it's actually very predictable that he'll go Banshee or Starport one game, then double barracks the next game, then Starport the next game, then double barracks the one after that. And I think it's more common that he just alternates between those two rather than truly randomizing his builds. Maybe something Serral could prepare for. Ling sneaking down the right side. It's a bit of a Ling flood. Ooh, he barely doesn't see it. There's not many Lings at home. Oh, that was a bit of a tell. That was a bit of a tell. Those Lings just ran back from this side. Hellions are going to dive. Queens are there. No Evo Chamber block. Lings running into the base right now. 2 Hellions about to pop. Meanwhile, 2 drones have already gone down. These drones going to try and block there. Oh, he's a little clumped on the droney drones, though. 3 Hellions enough to one-shot. Meanwhile, on the other side, Lings get to the high ground. SCVs and Hellions defend. The Hellions damage, but not dead. 7 drones for 9 SCVs. That's a great trade for Zerg. Gets a 10th. And there's more damage where that came from. The SCVs trying to repair. The Lings go for the surround, but they're not able to kill anymore. I think maybe would have been worth throwing away those Lings for 2 or 3 more SCVs if he just shift-clicked them. But 11 SCVs for 7 drones. An excellent trade early on for a Zerg player. Unless you account for the 3rd orbital, and then you realize mules beat everything. Oh my god, Terran's so imba. Just kidding, guys. It's still usually good for the Zerg, but he's got to do a good job of getting up to the double Evo, getting the 4th base up. He knows it's Liberator, not Banshee. So I think Evo Chambers is a really smart reaction to seeing the Liberator. If it's Banshee, he wants a lair to make Overseers. You can't afford lair and 1-1 upgrades at the same time. So Serral is actually kind of reactively choosing his build choice, and that's amazing. Like, having the scouting from those Zerglings showing what your opponent's up to means the Liberator shouldn't really find anything. Hellions will get a few creep tumors, though. Clem looks pretty focused. I was wondering, I'm kind of looking at his camera. I don't think he feels good about that start, but I think he can recover from it. Being behind on upgrades versus Zerg is never fun, though. 3 barracks, 2 medevacs on the way. I think one could argue those 2 medevacs aren't timed too well, but I think his build order's just not timing out very, very nicely. So I think he's going to swap the starport off and build a reactor shortly. Liberator came in. Looks like it's killed 2 units, but I think one of those was a Zergling on the other side of the map. One was an Overlord. Oh, really? Sarah's like, what? That's a little cocky, isn't it? I think Clem queued that up, hoping to stop the base from building in the first place. Looked back and went, oh, the hatchery's already down. Alien nest is there. Double engineering bay. Does feel good for Serral, right? And then, as I said, the double medevacs here, that starport should lift off and then put another barracks on that, because there's no way you need more medevacs right now. He needs to get his 4th and 5th barracks, and already having a reactor ready for it, or 2 reactors, would be amazing. Small little optimization, but in the heat of the moment, 7 games into an epic grand finals, it's not exactly what you're going to be thinking about, those tiny optimizations. The starport just idling instead, which is fine. Hydroden starts for Serral. It's going to be the first Hydroling Bane game we've seen so far in this entire finals. Don't mind it. I think this is a good choice on this map and in this situation with the opening we've had. Forcing the medevacs back. Oh, redrop's a bit too close. I'd actually like to see Serral chase this a bit more. One thing I've noticed is when Serral plays Ling Bane, Clem is obnoxious with where he redrops. He'll pick up and he'll just drop there. And then he'll just drop there. And if you don't actually chase him, which Serral has a bad habit of not doing, you kind of let him reapply pressure too quickly. And I think you should be forcing him to back away a little more. Once again, I would have loved to see him chase that. Because this actually slows your creep down significantly with how Clem is so aggressive with this. Ooh, he gets a Baneling. Let's lose a Marine, though. All right, guys. Second factory. Armory. All these things are on the way. 4th and 5th barracks now building reactors, but no 4th command center just yet. Liberator goes back to the mineral line to get repaired. At some point, he will remember to do that. Clem's really good at splitting his attention, you know. The very top players these days are like experts of sympathy from Name of the Wind, you know. They can split their kind of mental process into many, many different threads simultaneously. Stay focused on them all at the same time. Marines and Hellions could be rotating. 1-1 upgrade's almost finished. It looks like they're going to time out near perfectly with the armory. 4th command center is on the way as well. Where are those Hydras? First Hydra dens are building. Groove Spines is done. No muscular augments. And a high-pressure game for getting Hydra upgrades is one of the most common things that top Zerg players do. We have seen so many tragic games recently where Zergs only have one of the Hydra upgrades for 10, 15 minutes straight, and it loses them the game. Hoping this is not one of those for Serral. It's always a sad way to lose. He does let him redrop again immediately. So this is where I'd like to see him stay on top of it. I just feel like Clem is so annoying with this. I'd like to see him stay on top of those drop paths. Just keeps pulling back to a central location and letting him redrop. The creep spread's taking the punishment for it. Still no second Hydra upgrade. It's a big mistake for Serral, guys. And Clem, when he applies this pressure, does really well. He was behind in the units lost tab earlier. Now he's slightly ahead, just by 50 minerals. But this is where the push starts. 83 drones for Serral, 10 Hydras, 20 Banes, 86 Zerglings. Can he defend? Queenling Bane up north. He's got a Spore on that top side, stopping the rotation. Queen's respreading creep. I like the way the Banelings danced back, so they weren't easy focus fire targets. But once again, Clem redrops 2 seconds away from him. And that's, I think, a big misstep for Serral. Because Clem's going to come right back in on that north side. But wait, no, he tries to drop 3 Queen! 3 Queen Spore Crawler intercept. Clem's reaction speed is absolutely otherworldly, though. He reacts so quickly, pulls back, doesn't lose the drop. Most players would have there. This base is going to go down. Serral tries to defend it. He tries to defend the base. He's only got 1 tank and 1 lib. It's mostly just Marines. Crazy that he's over here with almost pure Marine. Those medevacs, oh, a bunch of the Marines do take a hit there. He's still trying to just stim and run. Oh, the stim runs out. Clem, he's got to get away from this. And he does manage to. Units lost tab, 600 in favor of Clem now. These Marines, dude, he is so comfortable standing on the edge of danger. And that's what makes him so special. That's what makes him the reigning world champion. But right now he has an angry goat in front of him. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with an angry goat, but they are really frustrating. Dude, you can be 10 times bigger than they'll headbutt you. And when it's a finished goat, it's even angrier. It's up there in the cold 9 months of the year. There's no sunlight half of the time. And he is mad. And he wants his revenge on this baguette-wielding Frenchman. Ling Bane Hydra rolling forward. The Widow Mines do blast a few of the units. Nothing too crazy in those Widow Mines. 1,000 resources lost advantage in favor of Clem. Pretty standard for this matchup. One could say actually not that amazing. The thing is, Clem's mass expanding in the future, right? He's got a 4th up, 5th starts building. He's got 3 tech labs, so he's up to 8 barracks. His 2-2s on time this game, and the Hive being delayed, which is standard, is going to delay the 3-3. So Serral's going to swap into range upgrades, Burrow. He's going to try and like round out his style. I do like that Burrow's on the way. I think a few Infestors are the sort of late game unit that he's going to more naturally transition into off Ling Bane Hydra. Ooh, Widow Mine's getting some big cleansers. Overseer does take a hit, though. Is there enough Banelings? Oh, good hot pickup. And the Hydras aren't quite there to deal with it. Gets out. Clem uses his get out of jail free card. Meanwhile, what the hell happened down here? Look at the units lost tab now. 3,000 in favor of Clem. Serral's Southern Army got blitzed. That was a big distraction in the north, and Clem is creating the chaos and finding the value now. Clem is a freak. Look at that. Focusing the Banelings down. Anytime you're chasing into Clem and he's picking and choosing where the fights are happening, it's bad news for you as a Zerg player. I don't know if he should have got a big Ling run by in here at some point. Opening up a 3rd front just to stress Clem out and make him react to you for a change might have been what Serral needed in this game. He's on 88 drones. I'm not saying it's over by any means. He's got his first 2 Vipers just popped out. They're going to gather energy. You can see there consuming off the hatchery. Accidentally burrowing some drones there with a bit of a misclick though. Does go for the Lurker Den. +3 Carapace, +2 range, Adrenal Glands, Lurker Den, more Banelings being made. Serral can definitely withstand things for a while on 5 base. But I think if he lets Clem secure a 5th, that's where things start to get very problematic. Extra command centers coming in for Clem. Clem doesn't have mass orbital yet. It's only a matter of time though. Those Widow Mines unable to fire. Clem stutter stepping until the banelings are literally right on top of him. He always picks up at the last second. That's how he extracts so much value from every single skirmish. This is a good area for Terran to fight. Off the edge of creep there. Don't think the Hydra upgrade's done just yet. I'd love to see that Hydra upgrade. Serral's got a lot of things to manage. Oh, he did get augments, by the way. He remembered the movement speed. Oh! Widowmine friendly fire plus blinding cloud on the tank. Oh my gosh, and another blinding cloud. Would have preferred that one probably to be a parasitic bomb, but dude, 2 Widow Mines just killed a lot of Terran units. The Widow Mine giveth, the Widow Mine taketh away, guys. One must pray at the altar of the Widow Mine every time they queue into a series as a pro Terran, because you never know what's going to happen. Widow Mines. Oh, sorry, Marines pick up, get away from the Lingbane Hydra on that side. Serral's trying to secure 5, 6, base number 7 in the bottom right side of the map. He's down 3,000 units lost up. That's kind of fine if he can deny a base soon. But if he can't deny a base soon, it will be problematic in the long run. Widow Mine shots not really landing big. Oh, parasitic bomb in the middle of the medevacs. Big parasitic bombs. The medevacs are getting owned. Every single medevac goes down. Big Widow Mine on the banelings. But Serral is going to bust the middle base, and he is overrunning Clem in this game. Clem looks stressed out. He realizes that was a crucial moment. He just lost so much value in the medevacs. Look at the units lost tab. It's gone from 4,000 in his favor to only 1,400 minerals and gas in his favor. It's such a closer thing now. And look at this. Serral's got his little blockers everywhere. Single Zerglings, blocking bases, burrowed banelings on the southern ramp. When did he have time to set that up? In what I have been watching in the last 4 or 5 minutes of this game, when did he have time to set up burrowed lings on every base and burrowed banelings in the bottom? I don't know. The answer is these guys are using hacks. The hacks are their incredible brains and hands used in unison to issue 400 to 500 actions per minute. It is absolute insanity when you are watching the best players in StarCraft 2. Only they can possibly keep up at this level. There are a handful of people in the entire world able to play this pace. The Hydraling Bane finds the orbital on the front again, forcing it to pick up, overrunning in the north. The abducted to the Hydras! Another abducted to the Hydras, but he pulls away. Clem tries to redrop instantly because this man is a psychopath. He runs towards the Horde. That shows you the attitude I've been talking about. Other Terrans would run away. Clem runs forwards. And this time it looks like the Bull, or in this case I should say the Goat, tosses him up on his horns over the hood of the car and absolutely yeets his Terran army into oblivion. The 4th base, or 5th command center, it was actually there burning. The Hydras focus it down. Serral goes for the planetary. Can't fight that without banelings, but it lures Clem into the open. And he says, let's go, son. Hydras focusing Widow Mines before they can shoot. The medevac's incredibly vulnerable. He's going to lunge forward one more time. Serral secures Game 7 to put himself up 4-3. Well, it could all end here, ladies and gentlemen. Basilisk Serral in the top right side of the map, a legend. And a man who is cementing his legacy here, showing what it takes to get revenge and to fight back against Clem. To show that he is not a pushover. After losing, I think it's 4 or 5 competitive series in a row to Clem, and especially after that massive 0-5 and 0-3 defeat to Clem, he's fighting back. But Clem is not done yet. If there's anything I know, it's that the scrappier it gets, the more tired it gets, Clem will play better. And Serral, who knows, can he keep it up? Serral loves being on the stage. Everyone else gets nervous and drops in performance. Serral loves being at a live event with a crowd, with cameras, with lights. And you know why? It just doesn't faze him. He's like, yeah, no, I just play good on the stage. Everyone else seems to panic or something. He's like, I don't know, I just play good. Clem used to panic a lot on the big stage, but he, of course, has managed to get to that position where he does play a bit better on the big stage. I still think, though, online Clem is absolutely disgustingly good. He's just in his comfort zone at home, having a coffee whenever he wants, having a snack, you know, and I feel like he's so used to playing into crazy hours of the night, playing long tournaments, playing 2, 3, 4 online tournaments in a single day, just farming them. I mean, Clem is the first world champion we've really had who would just literally sign up to every, like, $200 tournament. He'll be like, oh, $200? Yeah, I'll play 3 or 4 of those in one day, win all of them, win $600, $800, something like that. And, you know, Serral would be like, I'm not getting out of bed for less than $5,000 minimum, you know? it's a different mentality. It means as the series gets longer and messier, Clem's a bit more of a grinder. Serral hides his builds, though. And that's what makes him so scary in these big series. Because, like, he's bringing out so many plays that no one's ever seen before. And we talked to him. I already referenced it earlier in the series. We had that long interview with him. We were talking about, hey, what about this build you did this one time? Like, you know, and he basically hinted that he has all-ins up his sleeve that he sometimes hangs on to for a year or longer, waiting for the perfect situation to arise in the game. most players, even top StarCraft players, plan an all-in and they commit to it before the game starts. A lot of the time, unless there's a really good reason not to do it. Serral, he says, maybe I'll do this build. I'll have it in my back pocket. And if the situation isn't perfect, he just won't do it. And that's what makes him so different to everybody else. He's like, yeah. Like, I guarantee you there's a situation where he doesn't commit to the Tunneling Claw Roaches out on Talisman earlier in the series, but saw the right situation, he committed. Third hatchery goes down there. We've got the factory, third command center. In the moment of truth, I think it's double barracks, guys. No, it's Starport again. Clem goes for Starport again. I do think he's had much more success with 2-1-1, the double barracks build, than he has with Starport against Serral. But we'll see what he's got in store. I think he's going back to Banshee. It is a comfort zone. It's very, very stable. Reaper dancing around. Fourth command center's, or third command center's, sorry, on the way. Reaper dancing around. Queen's having fun. If you're watching live, remember, there is a no balance winding rule in my chat, even when we're running big tournaments. It's all about the vibes. Just remember, this is a no freedom of speech zone. We believe in you exercising your freedom of speech elsewhere. Just a heads up. Aliens and Reapers dancing around. Queens, gonna be pushing them back. Alien Reaper looking for creep tumors, but nothing sticking out just yet. Cloak is on the way. Serral's shown excellent play against Cloak so far, but he doesn't know it's Cloak this time. I wonder if he'll move the Overlord forward, because seeing this depot will confirm it's 3cc, but I just feel like there's no time Clem doesn't play 3 command center, so he doesn't really care. I mean, then again, the Hellbat timing, right? That was not 3 command center. With 2 command center, it was the old school 420 light 'em up build. Speaking of which, second and third barracks. Oh, no, that's normal. For a second, I thought that was really early, but no. It's just 6 Hellions into second and third barracks. Getting excited here. He wants to see if it's Banshee or not, but the Overlord's coming a bit too late. I don't think he sees it. Marines are going to kill that. Serral with a bit of a mistake. That Overlord is not on the high ground right now. It keeps moving off the high ground. Now he pulls it back, but Serral, he's making a quick lair. Banshee's already there. Spore only now starts. He's caught with his pants down. But Cloak's not ready, so he should be fine. It's only 1 Spore. Serral's being greedy. He specifically said, as long as that Banshee can't cross into the back, I can wait for the Overseer. Now he builds the Spores in the main and the natural. He delayed them as long as he could, squeezes out a couple more drones. Lair, Baneling Nest. Clem's Hellions have not found a lot of value, but they've preserved their hit points well. They've slowed down the creep spread a little bit. Staying active. Oh, hold on. Hellions dive in. Bit crazy there. Gets himself a creep tumor. Second Banshee going to join up. Queensair could move forward. Surprise Serral's letting him cross over in such dangerous territory. The Overseer's up here above the natural. Double Evo Chamber going to go down as well. I expect Hydraling Bane again, guys. I think Serral's confident now in the Hydraling Bane. He feels he can do it again against a Banshee opening. But he still needs to defend. Queen takes a lot of damage. Doesn't quite have transfuse on the back. Oh, there we go. Nice transfuse. Good rotations of the Queens. All the Queens are going to come down here now. It looks like the Banshees have to back away. Not getting any actual kills. Just draining the energy. Scaring Serral, but not killing anything. Serral still injecting in the main and the natural. 9 Queens. Baneling speed starts. And of course, 1-1 upgrades at 614. And look at that, guys. +1 armor delayed here for Clem. So his attack is ahead, but his armor is only in line with the Zerg, which Zerg normally feels very good about their upgrades being in line with Terran. They're usually a little behind on those. 4th and 5th barracks comes up. Clem not queuing his SCVs. You can see his mechanics maybe getting a little bit sloppier as the series going on. Just manually doing things. But I do like this move, repairing the Banshees. Getting them ready to defend future attacks. Hydroden started up now. 79 workers to 63. If Serral wins this game, it will be all over. Clem and his chances of becoming a first-time PiGFest champion will be gone. Serral is a 2-time champion. He's looking for his 3rd PiGFest victory. MaxPax and Beyond sharing those trophies with him. MaxPax took down Maru in PiGFest 3. Beyond took down Dark in PiGFest 2. Serral won number 1 and number 4. Looking to see if he can win number 5 as well and absolutely dominate this tournament. Queens doing good damage on those medevacs. They're going to be forced to pull back. Second factory, 4th command center, armory. Is Clem going to lean back in this game? This looks a little bit like Clem's leaning back into a longer-term game plan. Perhaps feeling confident in the long game. I don't think this is a great map choice for it, though. Maybe it is. I think your 4 base aren't too hard to defend. And even though your 5th is difficult to hold on to, it's going to be hard for Zerg to defend a 5th base as well. So maybe he will kind of just do light harassment with Medevac Marine and then tech all the way up. Wonder if we see a mixture of tanks and Widow Mines. It looks like that's the case. He's building Widow Mines here. Off the Tech Lab factory. Reactor goes down. Drilling Claws does start. Green Medevac. Yes. Only one Baneling. Ooh, a little slow on the pickup. The Baneling's no time to detonate there. And look at Clem. Oh, he's such a D-bag. He's like, I'm here. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. Just dropping back and forth. It's perfect. That's it. That's what you want to do. When you play StarCraft, you want to be a D-bag. If your opponent's annoyed, you're probably playing correctly. If they go, oh, he's really fun to play practice games again. I really like practicing against him. You're playing wrong. You're not actually a good practice partner. You're a punching bag, okay? Stim is finished. It was a bit late this game. Combat shields coming in. Great catch from the chat. Infestation Pit does start up there. +2 carapace. +1 range really early. He's going +1 range over the +2 melee upgrade. I think that's a good choice. 7 Hydras out. We go up to 10 in a moment. Command center floating up to the left side. Marine tank Widowmine moving forwards right now. Lingbane Hydra. Really nice setup on the defense for Serral, but he's got to attack into a nasty angle, and he's going to go for the counterattack. Oh, I would have liked to see a few Lings split into that mineral line. Could have got a few SCVs. This is not an attackable angle. For Serral, you need to come through that ramp in the top left. You cannot attack around this corner. Serral has the wrong setup right now. That tank gets a nice shot on him. He's setting it up. Now he's bringing around the left side. The Banshees are there. He's going to go for it. F2, baby! A move coming in from multiple sides. Widowmine lands on some of the Banelings. Nice hot pickup. The tanks do get cleared. 1,000 resources lost advantage in favor of Clem as he redrops right there. That is offensive. You're meant to pick up and run away. You're not meant to immediately redrop to get 2 more Banelings. Clem, what the heck, bro? Widowmine Bio moving north. It was a perfect surrounded setup there for Serral. F2A move, not an insult, guys. It's the correct thing to do when you've set up a 360. Marine Marauder coming in. Bio is there. The Lingbane Hydra coming forward. Watch out for the Widowmine. Oh, Widowmine gets a good clearance on the Zerglings. Hydra's unable to really close with the medevacs. Clem just trying to get the maximum value. Over 2,000 resources ahead. He's taking a 5th command center and a Ghost Academy. He's really settling into the macro game. Remember, we haven't really seen Serral beat him up in like a really close, even macro game before. Clem's going to test him now on Frostline and say, hey, bro, if I take a fast 5th base and I don't really commit, I just try to annoy you with all these pressures and just kite backwards, can you really deal with what I'm throwing your way? But I think Serral's setting up perfectly. +2 melee, +2 range, Burrow, and Infestors. His Hive's almost finished. His 3rd Evo Chamber's going down. Serral playing excellent. He is setting up for the late game. He's got 80 drones, which might not be as high as some players would prefer to go to, but I think it's enough to build a good bank and have a good-sized army. Breaking the rocks without blowing his Banelings up on it. See, more pros blow up their Banelings on rocks than I'd like to have. Serral almost never does that mistake. Widowmine there, not quite able to fire. 6th base in the south, getting sieged. Remember, it's hard to defend these expansions. Your first 4, easy to defend. Your 5th, a bit harder. Your 6th bases stick out like sore thumbs. Lingbane, Hydra rolling forward. Oh, Widowmine does get a lot of the Zerglings. Careful chasing that. Careful chasing that. Meanwhile, Hatchery in the south got taken out as well. Did he lose the Hatchery? Yes, he did. No cancel on the southern Hatchery. Serral's trying to fight 2 sides at once. And Clem is kiting his way to victory. He has 5,000 resources ahead. He has the best starter step in all of StarCraft. And honestly, until the Infestors are here, Serral's screwed. He just cannot engage this army. Look at the way he is just gunning down your units, and he's got the get out of jail free card. At any moment, he picks up, flies away if you get on top of him. And another Hatchery. This time it is cancelled. But dude, this is so nasty. That Widowmine does get dragged in for a bit of friendly fire. Unless you get a full surround on these forces, it's so difficult. The resource loss tab is absolutely gruesome. Infestor does get in from behind, though. He's got an Infestor on both sides. Serral needs to set up the trap, but he's already lost his entire army in the south. His army crumbles. He has an Infestor set up for the flank, but he loses the entire southern force. Oh, my lord. Clem, leave him alone, mate. Give him a moment to breathe. But Clem says, a moment to breathe, mate. I'll do that when I'm dead. That's the only time you get to breathe as a Zerg player against me. It's what makes me special. It's why I love this matchup. I do not let the Zerg do anything they want to do. The entire TVZ matchup against Clem is responding, trying desperately to cope with his ridiculous multitasking, and that's the way Clem likes it. It is the way Serral absolutely does not like it. He'd love to catch this drop, but he needs to wait until the prime moment to use these infestors, and he hasn't found it just yet. Clem's keeping him so busy, he can't even move these infestors into position. Clem trading 7,000 resources more efficiently, baiting him into Widow Mines. That one did a bit of friendly fire, but the Marines aren't actually dying. They're just taking damage. Infestors just out to the left side. Hydras are on top. He doesn't have enough units to capitalize. Even if he unburrows and fungals right now for Serral, I don't think it's even really worth it. He might have to do it. I think it's time. I think it's time. He's going to have to do it soon. He's trying to hold back on it, realizing I got to wait for the big money shot. I love the patience for Serral. He's waiting for the big boom. He's waiting for the underground nasty. He's waiting for that big green goop that's going to lock Serral into a dark room with Clem. And he's got night vision goggles. Clem will not. Night vision goggles and a machete. That's what happens. If this fungal can land on this army from behind, it's going to be a nasty time. But it's so hard to land because Clem's kicking in doors, just running around, overwhelming him. Serral is keeping that infestor away, doesn't want to get it scanned accidentally. This angle down here is so annoying. The infestor comes in from behind, the scan is out. Watch for it. Watch for it. Hold. Watch for it. Oh my gosh. Dude. Look. Everybody. Wait for it. The fungal lands on the backside. The double fungal seals the deal on the rear side. The Hydras take out a bunch of medevacs, and Serral, he lands a spell. He gets his first victory in this game. But it comes after 6 minutes of him getting punched in the face. He's got more CTE than Rocky Balboa right now. Adrian is somewhere, and he's going, Adrian! Because he's honestly being punched in the head way too much in this game. I get he's playing a good game. I get that was a good fight, but he is so far behind in units lost. And his infestor pops up and then immediately burrows. Not the jump scare he was looking for. The Lingbane Hydra trying to come forward. Clem trying to start a step back. His supplies getting low. The Hydras get the medevacs. A Widowmine burrows behind Serral's army and actually does a great shot. And honestly, I think Clem might have enough to hold. The infestor comes forward. Wait, can Serral break him? The fungal! The infestor pops up, lands a fungal. The Marauders insta-gib him. I can't believe they got that infestor. Clem, he must have target fired that. The Savages, another infestor here. I don't think Serral can kill him. Serral is all in. He's not going to get him. He doesn't have the numbers. Serral, way too concussed at this point. Out on his feet, almost gets the counter knockout against Clem with the fungals into the counter attack, but it's just not enough. His bank's empty. He's stuck on 4 bases, and he's out of money. I think it was 5 bases, actually, but it's not enough. Not against a 5-base Terran. He knew he was way down in supply. It was an all-or-nothing counterpunch, and he just couldn't get it. We are going to game 9. All right, it all has to end here. Dude, I'm exhausted. This is crazy. I'm just watching and casting, and I am exhausted. Clem in the top right, Serral in the bottom left. It's game 9. I mean, in my wildest dreams, I did not think we'd end up here. To warm up the stream today, I queued up a PiGFest 3 or 4 round of 8 match between these two that went to game 7 in the quarterfinals of a previous PiGFest. I thought, oh yeah, that's cool. We might see that series today, but I don't know how likely it is. You know, Hero especially could definitely beat Clem. Shin less chance against Serral, but still possible. Did not expect we'd be seeing these two in the finals and a game 9. I mean, what the heck, man? This is what they were hoping for at EWC. Would have been sick if this happened at EWC last year, but you know what? I'll take it, guys. We have a lot of epic series in this tournament. I don't know how I get so lucky in these tournaments, but I just really appreciate the players seem to bring out their A game. We get a little bit lucky. We get the good series here at PiGFest. Big thanks to everyone in the community for basically supporting and funding these tournaments. It's you guys that put in the prize pool. We've put in little bits as well, little bits here and there, but mostly just hosting, running the event, and basically putting our stream time up for free for it. And you guys have been very generous and supported us and given us a lot more views and a lot of subs and things like that as well. So big thanks to everyone who's been here. It's been a very stressful first week of the tournament. The playoffs weekend has been a bit less stressful. Me and the wife were both sick in that first week, but now we've recovered, and this playoffs has been just an absolute blast. So thank you everyone for joining us for it, and let's cast the game. It is a Reaper on the way, Marine coming out behind it, 2 Queens, and I think we're going to see that early Ling speed. Serral really has not been risking it on delaying Ling speed at all. Doesn't want to give any chances for those Reapers to scout for free. Pulls those drones off, and as he hits 100 gas, instantly starts Ling speed. Now, taking the third on the left side is a bit awkward, but some players have started doing it. I think Serral's just going to walk the queen out, escort the drone to the third base. But it will be delayed. Clem doesn't do that for free, though. He loses a lot of mining time. He's going to go check the other side of the SCV, while the Reaper covers this southern side. Double inject for Serral. Interesting that that's become the norm. You know, for a long time it was always creep tumor first, but Clem has shown Terran players that you can always snipe the creep tumor if they go for it too early. You can see that it takes 2 queens to escort the drone. He's gonna have to go for the extractor trick there to keep it safe. Lings and a drone go out to the other side. Serral realizing, I'm just not gonna get this down, am I? He's gonna back away from it. He wants to go back to injecting, to spreading creep, to making sure his build still continues unabated. Doesn't want to get stuck trying to force that base. Oh! Slow links around. There we go. Clem's like, a little bit of a shake of the head. Come on. Oh, no! Oh, no, guys! Oh, Serral fans, I have bad news for you. This is not a starport. This is a barracks. This is a barracks. Clem actually looks a little mad, but guys, this is a barracks. He's found the GG button. I swear he's won every game he's played double barracks after 3 commands. I swear he's won every game he's done this. I'm hoping it isn't a foregone conclusion. It's just, I'm noticing a pattern. Maybe I'm seeing tea leaves. Every time he's done this build, Serral's really struggled with it. We'll see how it goes, though. Could still absolutely go either way. I do think Serral should not play Hydraling Bane this game. I think, honestly, game 9, this is where you bring out Ling Infester. A mean build you've never practiced, except for trolling on your live stream. No, I don't think he's going to do that either. We'll see what he does. Starport goes down. Overlord is going to see the factory swapped off. The second barracks, great scout. He knows it's 2-on-1. Remember, there is no Roach Warren. Lair starts up real early. What's that for? Huh. I think he's playing Ling Bane, guys. I think we're going to see a Baneling nest go down. Okay, it is Roachhorn. It is Roachhorn. I think I prefer Roachhorn probably against this build, but we'll see how it goes. Depends how he transitions off of the back of it. One of the scariest things on this map is that there's these lanes. There's a northern lane and there's a southern lane. The entire middle of this map is cut off by these rocks. These rocks here will die on their own. They're basically what we call creep rocks. They're basically, you know, their life will die because they're essentially a Zerg structure that's not on creep. So they lose life steadily over time. So they will disappear on their own at the top and bottom. But otherwise, you need to break these rocks to open up the middle paths. You're not going to get to do that before Terran pushes you. And when Terran has a big, giant push on the north or south of the map, it's very hard to keep up with. It's a good option for an 8-Rax this map. We'll see if Clem risks it all on an 8-Rax in the final game. I do not think so. I think he'll macro like on Frostline. I think he'll play safe because that is Clem's instinct. I think go back to standard, go back to straight up. It's something very few players like to do against Serral, but I think Clem actually feels his best chances are there. Early Carapace coming in will make the Roaches very tanky against the Marines. Roach speed also, 57 drones for Zerg, 49 for Terran, and a perfectly timed Ling counterattack. Clem will take the free Overlord in the middle, but 2 Marines get jumped on. Nice start to the Ling run by Clem. Does bring 2 Hellions back, and very good SCV micro. Shuts it down, locks the door, says, you can't leave, mate. Good cleanup. It's not bad for Serral. 2 SCVs, a bit of mining time is still good for just 5 or 6 Lings. It's fine. I say 5 or 6, it was more like 8, wasn't it? Ooh, Queen's got some good damage on the medevac, not bad. Got to defend this 4th hatchery, though. You're going to see Serral doesn't know where the drop is, so he's kind of got to figure it out. Uh-oh. Bit too far forward off creep. Transfuses are nice. Drop's going to rotate. There's a Queen ready to do some damage, but it will get hunted down. If Clem's willing to sacrifice that many medevac hit points to do it. Oh, big damage. Very nice for Serral. Serral's massing Roach. Guys, Serral's still building Roaches. Is Serral going all in? 5 gas, Roaches? I think he needs a 6th gas and Ravages if he wants to make this work. But it feels like Serral's going all in. Game 9, and Serral is risking it all, ladies and gentlemen. He is risking it all on an all-in. Both players are tired. They're struggling. He finds a Hellion. There is a tank out. The tank is not on the high ground. It's in the open. Oh my lord. If Serral can sneak these roaches in and get rid of the tank early, he can win this game. These roaches going to try and fight these Marines. Clem tries to fight. Clem sees a roach on his side of the map. That's got to raise his alarm, ring the alarm bell. Ravager's trying to morph. More roach Ravager arriving. It's a carapace all in, but 1-1 upgrade's about to finish. 15 seconds until the window closes for Serral to have the upgrade advantage. He's going to try and get in and fight right now. He's going to focus the depot on the south side. The tank a little bit far away. Clem immediately unsieges the tank, lifts it to the high ground, but his natural is getting broken. Depots will be taken out. I do think Serral may be able to transition off of this since Clem is falling back to the high ground. I don't know if this is breakable. Oh, the Overseer comes forward. He's going to triple pile the tank. Great move. First siege tank goes down, but he's got to keep this Overseer alive. If that Overseer goes down, it's going to be a problem. But Clem cannot stop to fight that right now. Serral going for it all in game 9. It's all or nothing. He's risking it here, right now. He piles the second tank. There's still one on the high ground, but it's too far away. The Marines trying to focus down the Ravagers. They kill a lot of them, but I think Clem needs to pick up the high ground. Marines have such insane damage. Roach damage, rather uninspiring, but they are so tanky with that carapace. It is 1-1 upgrade. Zerglings being built as well. He's adding roaches and zerglings. He's going to try and float the Overseer into the main. He contaminated the factory, by the way. Oh, that is a sexy move. I didn't even realize that, guys. He stopped the tank production in the middle of the push. He literally delayed the tank production 30 seconds with the contaminate ability. Incredible. The fact that Clem is still alive is disgusting. Those Marines running into the heart of the Roach Ravager, judging that it was a good fight, but that's a blunder. Clem loses 2 or 3 Marines, and he's got a pre-stim. Stimming before the fight really happens. He's got Marines on the left side as well. He's about to realize, oh god, he's getting pushed yet again. The Roach Ravager shoving the ramp. But look at the Ravager squad. The Ravagers with the triple bile on the left side take out the tank on the high ground. And he's going to go back for the third base. Another tank comes in, though. Clem, he's been really good with this. The Overseer's right there. Does Clem try to focus it? He might try to focus the Overseer. The Ravagers are going for it. He's going to go for the bile. 2 biles. 3 biles. The siege tank will go down. And Serral with the Overseer pervert sees up the cliff, spots the high ground. The Marines trying to run back. But in game 9, Serral was willing to risk every little bit with a surprise attack, and he has managed to pull it off. Clem leaning back in his chair. He can't believe what Serral just pulled off on him. A dirty trick, a nasty trick, but a clever trick as well. The last tank goes down. The SCV's trying to hang on. But Serral, 9 games into an epic series. I mean, what a day this has been for both players, but especially for Clem. He played a 7-game series against Hero. We gave him a big break, but still 7 games against Hero, 9 games against Serral. What a nightmare of a StarCraft day that is, and Clem has just done such a good account for himself. He has played such good games. He started this series down 0-2, quickly getting annihilated at the start. He fought back to game 9. He made it so close. He just outplayed Serral in that last one so well, but right now the SCVs trapped against the Zerglings out there. GG, well played. Clem throws in the towel, and Serral, that is the man. The face of a man who had to work far too hard for this victory. That is an inhuman amount of effort that Clem forces out of his opponents. What in the hell? GG, well played. Serral, freakish performance against freakish opposition. That is the highest level of StarCraft that I have ever seen. GG, well played, gentlemen.